Namaskaram everyone and welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a dear Hatha Yoga teacher with us. We have Rajiv Anna from Faridabad. Namaskaram Anna and welcome to the podcast.
Namaskaram, Anna.
How are you Anna?
I'm great. How are you?
I am also doing great. So thank you for inviting me to your beautiful place. We have Sadhguru also with us. So hopefully we'll have a very good conversation today. Yes.
Yeah, that depends what we discuss.
True. So the podcast is all about documenting a Hatha Yoga teacher's journey. Usually when I start taking a podcast, I think it's usually the same story. It's like tuck tuck tuck, but it's very different. It is same in a way, but it is totally different also in a very different way. So we would, more than Isha and Sadhguru, we would like to know you more as a person and your personal journey. Just like Yogananda Paramsa talks about in his autobiography of a yogi.
Yeah.
It's a very tumultuous journey in that book. A book that really inspires me. I read it very often. From a seeker's perspective too. So this podcast is also an effort from my side to document various Yogananda Paramsas in their making, so that other seekers also find all of you beautiful souls and maybe take one step in that direction. So shall we start the podcast, Anna?
Yeah, please, Anna.
Okay. So now we would like to start from wherever your first memory is as a kid. The first memory, we would love to know you as a kid, how you grew up, what all were the things you did. So wherever you would love to start.
Right from my childhood, so I grew in a family wherein my father and came from village for living, of course. And at that time he has very less earning, and at that time he was not even married, right? So after certain number of years, once he got the job, uh, it was an arranged marriage.
Okay.
So he met my mom, and at an early age. I mean, earlier the marriages used to be very early. So they got married, but the financial condition was okay type, right? So probably lower middle class. So that's where I grew in that family. We are three brothers. I'm the youngest one, and of course, that way my parents love me more.
Okay.
At least that's
Is that the thing? I am a single child, so I don't know. So you tell me a bit about that dynamics. What is the difference between an elder child and a younger child?
Yeah, being the youngest in the family has always an advantage. Of course, the sweetest part of the pie, you always get that.
Okay.
And you get a little bit more always than your brothers because you're the cutest one, and they somehow, I don't know, I call it favoritism, but the youngest one always get a little better part. So that's where I grew since my childhood, whatever I can recall. So we were living in a small house. My dad was going to the job, and my mom was sewing clothes for others. Okay. So that's how they were making the earnings. But somehow my mom was very smart girl from the start.
Okay.
So she knew the value of education. Probably she has seen that a lot in her family. That people who are not educated somehow suffer one way or other in the society for living. So she decided that at least her children will not suffer through that. So she made us study hard. So we all three were bright students right from day one. But after third or fourth or fifth, my eldest brother, somehow the marks were coming down,
Okay.
and he was getting into some company. And then my the other brother, he was also getting down. But I had this pressure of maintaining this score in the college or school. Sorry. So I used to always come first in the class. So one way I was feeling good about it, oh, I stood first. But second way, there was a pressure as well. Oh, you are the smartest of all three. You have to maintain that. I said, okay, I can maintain that, but not always. But somehow that pressure was there. They never pushed me though, but somehow that psychological pressure started building up. Anyway, it was study and I was liking it. So I was a studious guy.
What were your favorite subjects then?
Oh, maths.
Maths.
Always. So there was a school wherein I studied. Actually, just beside the wall of my house. If I jump across, that'll be my school. So if I'm getting late, I'll climb up the roof and I'll jump to the school. Oh,
Like your home and school were like that?
Yeah, it was like that.
Okay.
So I studied there. So from the start itself, I remember an incident. Though I was naughty one, I was always playing and maintaining that balance. There was this teacher, English teacher. He used to like me. Of course, the studious guy.
Yes.
There's some favorite students, so that teacher used to like me a lot. And English teacher. And one day she said, "This guy will give a presentation in the seminar."
You were supposed
Some
to give a presentation.
or some speech. At that time, it was speech. So I said, "Okay, I have to speak in front of others." You're saying? She said, "Yes, of course. Speech is in front of others only." I said, "I'm not going to do that."
Okay.
Then I came back crying at home. My teacher is saying this and that. She said that she's doing a good thing. I mean, if she's making you to speak in front of others. I said, "No, I'm not going to do that." So, and I was scared, of course, speaking in front of people. So that was my first encounter where I felt the stage fear is something. But then my mom took me to that teacher's house and asked me to talk to her and what can be done in this situation.
Okay.
I said, "I'm not going to do that. That's fine."
Right.
But they made a speech, written speech by themselves. Okay, we'll write a speech for you,
Okay.
and you have to just deliver.
Do you remember the subject of the speech?
Some Chacha Nehru or something.
Okay.
Yeah. At that time, we had to give that speech on that. Anyhow, my mom is against me at that time. Okay, you'll have to give speech. My teacher is against. I have no control at that time. So I said, "Okay, I'll do it." Finally. So they made me to. They gave me this speech, and I had no choice but to say that, right? So I went there like this. Going down, I did not look who is in front of her. They were, of course, dais and students were there, and I had to just speak. So I'm like this. I took that sheet,
Okay.
put it there, right from line 1 until line last, and something happened, some clapping happened,
Oh, I see.
and I went back.
Okay.
I didn't know who was there, who was not there, but and I got a second prize.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I got a second prize. I was supposed to be feeling good about it, but somehow that feeling of suppression came within me. That fear started coming within me of facing people. And then in terms of school, though in family I was okay, but in terms of school I was a reserved guy, studious but reserved. So I had a couple of friends only whom I used to talk to a lot, but I would not talk to anyone else like that, right? Or I think they are bad people and I'll be having a company with the good people only. And suddenly this thing became a pattern in my life. So
After that speech.
after that speech, yes. So wherever I will go, so after that, of course, till third I studied in one school, and in fourth a new school was opening up, and everyone was going there. It's a new school and recognized school. You must go there. My friends were already there, so I asked my mom, I want to go there. Everyone was going there. So she said okay. So they had some interview process. So she said, "Okay, you go there. I'll be coming." It was nearby, so I'll be coming in 5 minutes. You go there, and we'll have your interview done, and then we'll have your admission, and we will see if that's cleared. Then you'll get admitted. So I went there, and they asked me, "Who is Rajiv?" And of course, I was in line. I said, "I am Rajiv, but my mom is not here."
Okay.
They said, "No worries, you come."
For the interview.
For the interview.
Okay.
So they asked me a few questions, and it was like my subjects were all fine. So I gave whatever they were asked. I replied to them, and I came out, and I came home, and it took me 10 minutes. So 5 minutes in interview, 5 minutes I came back.
So where did mom go?
So my mom was doing some household chores.
Okay, okay.
And why your interview is there, right?
Huh.
So I said, "It's done." Are you stupid? Let's go.
Right.
Your interview is supposed to be there. I said, "It's done."
Right.
So I went there, and they said he's admitted already.
Okay.
So that was the kind of, in terms of studies, that's how I was. So no matter, in terms of studies, I had no fears at all. I like to study.
You like to study.
I like to study. But side by side, I had that feeling of winning as well. So I should stood first. So that thing was developing in life. So that's how my life was going on. Um, my mom was very hardworking. So she used to ensure that whatever best can be given to these children, she would do that. She had very little money. I don't know, somehow she was managing to save money out of stitching or whatever the dad was giving to him. She was so manageable in things. She would save, she would spend on us good clothes, good food, of course. And if you want to roam around somewhere, she'll plan trip for us. So they were doing like this. My father was always doing late shifts so that we can have extra income somehow.
Right.
So, but one thing I was not loving about this whole situation was my father and mother used to fight for a small thing. Not literally fight, but for a small things they were like anti to each other.
Okay.
Why did you do this? You could have done this way, that way. And daily this would happen. They would disagree upon something on some subject. I said, you're living along and you love each other so much. Why this fight every time? And in fact, my father is so, I haven't seen person like him till date. Though I want to say him this directly, I never got the courage to say that I have never seen a person like him. Such a devotion towards whatever is given to him. And if you say that this is supposed to be done, it would not matter to him whether it's his neighbor or his friend or someone. He will literally wash even their clothes like that. So till date, even his in-laws praise him for this thing, that he would do anything, literally anything, just to make things happen, right? Without worrying what he will get in return.
Oh, is it? Okay.
There's one quality till date I could not even am close to him, that what will I get, and which Sadhguru says.
Right.
So I used to praise him for a lot for this, and mom, of course, whatever concern she was showing for us, and she was running here and there, though she could pass only 8th at that time, 8th standard. But she was going to all the neighbors, principal, whosoever the knowledge about the education, what to do, what should be put him in, which subject, which stream, all that. She'll run here and there and somehow arrange that money from saving and have us go in that direction. So that's how we three were growing, and after 8th, I went into and the same thing happened. The interview thing. Being a bright student, I got the highest marks in 8th standard, and I was on top of the world. That I'll go to a new school, a bigger school now. So bigger school was far away, and most interesting thing was, by the way, since childhood I was very adventurous.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Adventurous as in one, I was flexible.
Okay.
Yeah, I was doing those flips and everything. I still remember. I cannot do now, but I was doing flips, and in running I was roughly second. There was one more guy who was first, but I was roughly second in running as well, and
So roughly first.
roughly first. I say roughly first. So in competition, I realized I'm second. Actually, I used to think I'm first.
Yeah.
So adventures. I mean, kind of sports we used to play. I don't know if you know in here. Right?
Okay.
So there was a very frequent electricity cut in the afternoons.
Right. Okay.
7, 8
Yeah.
types.
Kerala also there used to be half an hour, 1 hour.
Yeah,
every day.
actually.
Yeah.
So there was standard cuts which will happen anyway, and we knew that this time we will play.
Right.
No, we cannot study, of course. So we'll go out, and one person will do against the wall like this, and the second person will come along and ride on it.
Okay.
Right. So there was a complete chain, and people will run and jump on their back.
Okay.
So there was a chain of stack of people, I wonder if we do it now, everyone would be broken. Their backs would be gone.
So you literally like hug the person in the back. How is that?
No, they'll run that,
Okay.
and he was like half 90-degree bend against the wall.
Okay.
We'll run and we'll ride on his back,
Okay.
as if we ride on a horse.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then second person will come and ride on his back.
Okay.
And somehow, I don't know, I forgot the rules, but there was a chain of people,
Okay.
and we have to shift in the front. And if that chain falls, that team loses and the other team wins.
Okay. Okay.
And that was the game, and very adventurous. I mean, I used to wait for light go on and the Coco, those type of game, Gilli Ganda, Kanche.
What is kanchi?
Kanche is marbles.
Yeah, kanchi.
So they
Someone told me today about kanchi. Was it Karthika or someone?
in North, that's very famous. Even Lattu, you know, right?
What is this?
Spinner.
Spinner. Okay.
Yeah. So these are what you call wooden triangular shape. I don't know what is it. Lattu we call it. Right? So there's a needle on the top and bottom.
Okay.
So we tie the rope around it, and then you do it like this.
Okay.
It unwinds, and that Lattu will start.
Oh, we call Pambaram in Malayalam.
Pambaram.
Top, you mean?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, okay.
So we used to play like anything. But somehow I think again I noticed that I was not that good in sports for some reason. I was active, very active. My maternal uncle used to call me Gazita Ram. That I used to crawl even since childhood, like my daughter was. I'll crawl and run away from house. And they used to find me where is went, and since age 1.
So you were studious at the same time you like to explore also.
Like to explore, very notorious. Very notorious about things. And then this adventure, so my brother was in the school which I wanted to go after it. He was in NCC, National Cadet Corps, kind of mini army. And I used to like the dress he was wearing. And he showed me we climb rope, we do slants and wall jump and this and that. That amazes me so much.
Right.
As if I'm literally living for this thing only. I want to do this, and I want to join army now.
Okay.
And I joined the school, especially that there is an NCC, and there are only few schools which used to conduct NCC. I said I'll go on camps like him, and I was following my brother at that time. Same. But in the 10th itself, this NCC admission was supposed to happen. So I was there. I was wishing for. I came to the school just for NCC, right? And then this day was supposed to come, and somewhere in next week they announced that this will happen. I said okay, and I was like 100% attendance all the time. This one day I fall sick, fever, right? My mom said okay, don't go, otherwise how will you go? I was going by cycle, so I didn't go on that day. And next day I went, and on that day interview happened, selection happened.
Of NCC.
NCC. I was so shocked.
The day you didn't go, that day only.
That's the only day in a year I didn't go.
Okay.
And interview happened, selections happened. I said it was you were supposed to announce, right, a day before something that I would have come. So they said it's final now. Nothing can be done. I was running after this teacher or that teacher.
Right.
Please take me. Please take me.
Right.
They'll say we'll see. If someone drops out, we'll have you in. Otherwise not. And of course no one backed out.
Okay.
And I was heartbroken at that time. Okay, my dream of going to army was broken, right? Which very later I realized it was probably not out of love for the country or something.
Okay.
It was more of a adventurous look of army people I had in my mind. All those adventure I wanted to do. But anyway, that got shattered. And I was just talking to these people who were going to the camps and how it was, what did you do, and that made me more sad about it.
Right.
I wish I would have gone there, you did this masti, that masti. But till 10th, that was happened. But in this whole process, somehow that fear of unknown was coming. I didn't realize I had, this became a pattern. I had less friends, though very good friends, but very less friends in a class. I'll talk to, right? 2-3 people, 4 people max I'll talk to, and rest are okay acquaintance, but I won't talk to them much. And this became a pattern that I have best buddy, only one best buddy,
Okay.
two known people, and rest are unknown. So I didn't realize till 10th. 11th, my brother was there in CBSE board. CBSE was little esteemed board than Haryana board.
Okay, a little more esteem. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So English medium.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Till then I was Hindi medium and I was super sharp. Now my brother was there, I had to go there. Right there they have basketball, volleyball. I had all that in mind. I'll play. So I wanted to go there. The same thing happened. I don't know why it was happening again and again. Interview things.
What, you would not go that day? It would happen.
No, the interview with the principals.
Okay.
So same thing happened. They asked me for the interview. I said okay. So my mom said I cannot pay for two child. Frankly, I mean I'll be open with you both. We'll have to do something about it. Though I can manage, but it'll be really tough to run the family like that.
Right.
Two people in the same school, and that too high fees. And at that time I guess 600, 700 only. But it was too much for our family. And my brother was, I guess, probably bigger classes.
Was it your middle brother or your elder brother?
So elder than me was in the English medium only.
Okay.
And eldest one probably he was in college
Yeah, right.
or something. So all three were studying. It was getting tough for them
right,
to
right.
manage all these finances. So they went to director and asked him what can be done. I mean, we want a waiver, and they were giving waiver or scholarship at that time. So they said I cannot do waiver to a new student. I mean, you are okay types. You're not lower income people. You're still okay types. I cannot give you like that. And if he proves his worth, we'll give the what you call scholarship. And he just said it like that. Okay, if he does something, we'll do it. Okay, what he is supposed to do? He'll have to stood first in the 11th class, and then we'll give him scholarship. I'm a new student, right? English medium. Stood first. He roughly put in an impossible condition.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, what would happen, right? So 11th I went, and again strange looking class. Everyone knew. No, I was not known to everyone, and vice versa. And I'll kept mum. I would not speak, as if I'm scared of looking at people also. That fear started building up till that time. And I was more into, and that's why probably I shifted my whole focus to studies as well, just an escape from facing people. Right? So I'll again 1-2 friends I had, my favorite friends always, and I'll study and this chemistry subject. I said even chemistry is in English. How do I study?
Right.
And everywhere I was seeing Hindi subjects. Now it's in English. Even the chemistry, I don't know what they're saying. First, I'll convert that to Hindi,
Okay.
and then I'll understand what it is.
That must be double taxing.
Double or triple, I don't know what happened. Just to read one page, one page. Of course, they will give me a whole chapter or something.
Right.
But just to read one page, it used to take me 2 days. One page. And it became too tough for me, just from English to Hindi medium to English medium. Though my English was okay, I never spoke English. Just to understand English was fine.
Right.
I knew the English words. But then it became too cumbersome for me to go through this way. There was a Kamal pocket dictionary,
Okay,
a
yes,
smaller one. I said I'll buy a dictionary. I cannot read like this. So daily I'll have that dictionary permanently in my hand. I'll flip the page. There is a dash, whatever that was. I looked that meaning, and that's how I'll convert one sentence, and went on a very slow pace. And in the first semester, I went to teacher. Teacher, I don't mind writing something, but I cannot write in English. Give me a waiver writing in Hindi. I'll make you understand what it is.
Right.
I said, well, I cannot do that. I cannot check like this.
Yeah.
Everyone is writing in English. You do it. Do it as best as you can. She supported me that. I said it will be broken English. I don't know if it will be proper sentence or not. She said anyway you write something. That's the first exam unit test.
Which subject was it?
Every subject.
Every subject.
So she said okay you write. So the exam came. Anyway, I somehow concept-wise I was fine. They were teaching us something. I could understand what the concept is, but to write and understand the written English, it was very tough. So somehow there was something as I wrote in broken English. Somehow I downloaded whatever I grasped in every exam. And to my surprise, I came third in that semester.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I said, "Oh man, is it possible?" I thought I'll probably somehow barely pass because of my English. But teacher probably were generous enough to understand the concept what I wanted to write. I said, "Man, it's possible. Now get back on track. Third is possible, so even first is
First
possible."
is possible.
So I said, "Okay, I'll go for first now, and whatever. Now I'll double my speed in terms of I got few words now.
Okay.
I got a confidence of writing as well. So I'll focus on study now rather than English and Hindi conversion." So 11th went like this. Side by side, of course, we were doing the plays in between the volleyball,
Okay.
all the breaks we were playing basketballs, and girls, of course, we were peeking in. Who is the hottest girl in the?
Okay.
So English medium, you have girls
yes,
like different standard of girls.
Okay.
So we were making fun of this is yoga, this is yoga like that. And in the libraries, always we were like behind the books. So we did all that masti even in the schools. So they went on and on. After 11th, the exam day came and I finally gave an exam. And at that time I was confident in terms of writing. At least I can write something. Concept was fine, so I downloaded everything. I wrote whatever I knew, and I came first.
This is the exam that the principal wanted you to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I came first, and I was like, I can do anything. Because I was on top of the world. Hindi to English, that was one thing,
Right.
barrier, and second is the concept.
Right.
And the student who was the studious one in that class, and they were like against me now.
Oh.
They became my competitors.
Right.
So how can that be? We were coming first in the school, and someone coming new to the school and came in first. But anyway, the promise was promised. So we went to the director and asked. You said right.
Right.
Waiver. Now gave the waiver.
Right.
So he was again generous enough to give the full fee waiver.
Okay.
So 12th I studied like that, full fee waiver. So it's college time, but side by side this fear was also developing, right, of facing people. So more I was going into big oceans, more I was shy and introvert, not talking to people, not opening up much, looking at my friends around, and always wondering why people have so many friends. If they have, why don't I have those many friends? I asked this question to my friend as well. Why do you have so many friends and why I don't have? I didn't like the answer though. He said, only people like us will get so many good friends. You won't get. I said, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah.
I said, okay, I should look back. He said something, probably something wrong with me. I was lean by the time. Even now I am. So I was lean. I said, is it the physical structure? Is it the complexion? Is it the way I talk? I could not understand what was it that I'm not having so many friends.
Right.
Though I wanted, but I never approached it that way. So that struggle was on in between. And I joined this English speaking course at that time because this Hindi and English fight was always there. So I joined this English learning course, and there also same struggle happened. They'll ask us to do a GD, group discussion in English, and I was hardly speaking few English words at that time. I said, how GD? Okay, GD is fine, but they were talking about some social ecological issue.
Oh, okay.
I said, okay, one is the concept. I don't know what that concept is, and they were talking like probably they were from good schools, some English medium schools. They were talking so fluently. I'm sitting, okay, I cannot even utter a word. First is English, and second is the topic. And I went to the teacher. I cannot talk like these people. They are so fluent. He said, you learn among these people only. He said, you're saying it right. Okay, I'll go back. But that fear, moment I would utter something, they'll put. I'll keep mum. So 1 week went, I didn't say a word. I said, I would not learn this way. Put me in some other batch. He said, there is another batch going on, but these people are very notorious. You won't like them.
Okay.
I said, do something. I cannot cope up with this way. So they put me in batch wherein all the colony boys were there, who were very notorious. Not
What
into
boys?
Backbenchers.
Backbenchers.
Backbenchers. Colony boys, colony as in the
Okay.
area where
Right.
it's so crowded and they do anything. And then there were few dadas there also. So I said, okay, I got stuck in there. But the good thing happened was they were all speaking broken English.
Okay.
And I was like superior among them.
Right.
Now I got the confidence to speak. Okay, I can speak among these people at least. Whatever, whether I can learn or not, but at least I can speak. So from there I started learning English. But I know the people who cannot, I don't know if that happens today, I'm sure it would have happened. People who are Hindi medium versus English medium. Right now I realize it's just a language.
It's just language.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not something in the emotion, everything you carry all the time, right? You can still converse it.
True.
Whether it's Hindi, English, and I learned from my own experiences. I wrote the same subject, be it chemistry or something, in English and got stood first. So it's never the language which was the barrier, but something was there which was making me introvert. And till that time I could not figure out. Even 12th I could not figure out. That introvert aspect was increasing, and then education was, I was still finding the balance between the ocean and the well. In the well I was good, but the moment new bigger ocean comes, I was like this. So college and boys home. So daily travel was happening. So boys home was all the mix of people now, a new world altogether. So I was more interested in hostel than college. It was like that, variety of people. So one was very studious, like this chashmish guy. They will wear chashma and like he will study like.
I'm remembering 3 Idiots. What was the person's name? That
Raju.
Raju.
Yeah, exactly like it. So there was one Raju guy, and he was always studying like this.
Okay.
And he would not even listen to other people. What they're saying? I said, how would I compete with him?
Yeah.
I cannot study
You met
like
your
that.
match.
Yeah. I mean, probably way beyond my maths. I said, okay, I cannot compete with him. And there was one guy, Mr. Relia. Mr. Relia was the smartest guy probably in the class.
He was a Rancho Urdas Chanchad.
Yeah. Actually, he was like that. I could relate him when I was watching the movie. So he was Rancho Urdas of our class. He would do masti, very down to earth guy, and humble but notorious. And he would not study and score. He stood first in the class.
More than the other guy.
More than even the other guys.
Oh, that's exactly like the movie.
Exactly like the movie. That's why I said I could relate him like that. And I could not figure out what was the secret for him till date, but he was like that. So, and I'm like a timid guy of the class, and those studious, but so he was like.
Were you the Madhavan or the
Probably, yeah. somehow this story is like that only. I was the Madhavan. I mean, somewhat studious, somewhat not. Somewhere in between zone.
Yeah.
So Kaushik was my friend. Kaushik was like tall guy. Not that studious probably, but he knew the concepts. And his concepts were from the coaching institutes, IIT types concepts. And he was preparing for IIT even then.
Oh.
Even coming to after calling, he said, I'll make another attempt and I'll go from here.
Oh, go from there.
I said, okay. I got one friend and you'll also go. And then they were seniors in the same hostel.
Was there ragging? Talk about
I was
that.
coming to that. So I was always fearful that one, I cannot speak much. I mean, I used to speak among my friends only. And then they said, okay, you all freshers, come at the roof.
Okay.
I started. I knew something called ragging happens, and somehow we were escaping in the college. And they were in the hostel, they have full control over there. And I have heard the bad stories about ragging, getting nude and this and that. I said, please don't go in that direction. I would not do it, and I'll fight.
Right.
And so ragging started happening, and all the other guys were already open. My friends, probably from schools they were already open. They'll do like full masti,
Right.
even in that ragging, as if they were enjoying that
Enjoying.
process. And I'm like, okay, dance, I'll dance. Okay, I didn't know dance, so I will dance like anything. Hey, how are you dancing? Do dance properly. Just do this, do that. Of course, remove your shirt. I removed my shirt till that point. It was fine. And then they said, okay, remove your pants.
Okay.
And I stood. I would not do it. So it became roughly tussle, right? And others did. I did not. And that became a tussle at that time. And somehow the situation, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. I got on a tussle now with a senior, and in the same hostel, I got more scared. I should have done it, or I should not have done it.
Then mind is
Your mind is
constantly,
like that, and everyone enjoyed that process. And they were, man, if you want to edit that, you could, but after a few days, they were okay with it. I mean, they forgot about that incident. Nothing happened. They didn't become my friend, but well acquaintance. They were like something like this guy exists in the hostel.
Connection.
So hostel was full masti. I mean, they will play cricket there in the lobby. So they'll make us play. Forcefully they'll make us play, but later we started enjoying with them, the seniors, right? So
Yeah, they become very
friendly.
Yeah.
So later we were playing, and we made our own rules, mini rules. If you hit this wall, they say 4. If you go this way, 4, 8, whatever.
Okay.
Making our own rules, and there was a what do you call dining table. On that we'll have the glass in between. They were playing table tennis.
Yeah.
Table tennis on that, and then one friend used to do masti, like open up the Colgate,
Okay.
and whoever was sleeping, he'll put that on his feet and hands.
Okay.
So that he in the morning his whole face will be, who did this? And this drama would start. They'll run after each other, and I would just observe. I would not get entangled into it, but I will just observe and enjoy with them. And this ragging got complicated later.
Oh, is it?
To that studious guy.
He got ragged a lot.
Cheshmi. He was ragged by hundreds of people
Right.
in a bad way, so I would not go into that.
Right.
But that made me little insecure about this ragging process.
Yeah.
So I would somehow avoid seniors
Yeah.
and go here and there.
Why do you think the dragging process? Sometimes you think it's a fun part, but I think there should be a better way to,
Yeah,
to
now
drag
I realize, frankly, I mean, for example, my participant as well.
Yeah.
Not everyone is standing at the same place, right? Though it could be fun for you,
Yeah.
right? For the seniors, right? But fun is once they enjoy this process, until they become into their comfort zone, right? They would not enjoy, right? And the people who are ragging probably were not smart enough to get engaged into that part, wherein they'll force things on people, right? So even if they ask you to laugh, for example, it's a small thing, but how can someone laugh if he is not part of that process?
Right.
So until he becomes comfortable, which we later became though, but this ragging thing probably I've noticed that all around. Even a lot many movies were coming, people doing suicides and this thing. So should never be forced, I will suggest. Even in colleges, they're careful now, right? And on the other side, people like me, I would suggest, I'll comment on that, what my analysis about me was later about this introvert part. So college, it was going like this, and the study part, I was, they'll ask me to come with them, go watch movies. I said, okay, I'll go watch movie. Which room will you watch? And they will go to cinema. I never went to cinema.
You've never been to a cinema?
Never went to cinema at that time, and at that time PVR or something was there.
Okay.
That was a new concept to me, PVR.
PVR.
I said, what is PVR? And they will make fun of me as if I have come from some village.
Right.
Because they were watching movies like bunking the class and going to PVRs, eating in Nirolas or something. I said, after that we'll eat burgers and go into Nirolas. I said, what is Nirolas now?
What is Nirla? Even I don't know what is
Nirolas is chain like McD's.
Acha, okay.
That was very famous chain in North.
It's still there? Or?
It's still there. Still.
Okay.
So Vasant Kunj, we used to go. There was a PVR Priyas.
Okay.
So that's the name, PVR Priyas.
Priyas. Oh,
Yeah.
nice lady name.
Yeah. That's a very happening place. If you have not gone,
Okay.
the Greener Cafe is there right now. If
Okay.
you have to have the vegan food. We went in the upgrade after our upgrade. We went to that place.
Okay.
So there were some memories popping up. Okay, we used to roam around a lot. So we said we'll go there. I said okay, whatever you say. I was just like okay, whatever you say. I was calculating how much would be the cost. I have this much of saving.
Right.
So daily I used to get 10 rupees for travel. Right. So from Faridabad to Gurgaon. So the commute was so complicated for me. So of course we could not afford a cab or something at that time. So my cycle, I used to go cycle for 5 kilometers. I'll park it some workshop. I had that made that arrangement. Please allow me to park here
Right.
for free.
Free. Okay.
So and there I'll take a canter. Canter is like what do you call mini truck.
Mini truck.
Right, so they used to carry luggages
Oh, okay.
from Faridabad to Gurgaon. I'll ask them, please allow me to sit with you, and I'll pay them 10 rupees or something. So they'll made me drop that the around 5 kilometers away from the college,
Okay.
and there I'll start lift.
Lift. Okay. Okay.
And I became confident after that in taking
take
lift.
lift.
So and sometime it used to take half an hour, sometime it used to take 1 hour taking lifts. The whole struggle of going to the college itself was so much at that time. And then it became a part of process though. Later we started enjoying this process also. So went to the college, doing studies and coming back. No sports in the college. I was not into it because I was so much into myself. How do I figure these things out? So these guys were taking me, the hostel guys. So that was the second year I went into through cycles and everything. First year was only hostel.
Hostel. Right.
So we went to movies. I forgot the movie name, but
Which was the first movie you watched?
yeah, I forgot it was an English movie.
English
I said,
movie.
you didn't tell me we are coming to an English movie. So that was Jackie Chan's movie, I guess.
Okay.
Jackie Chan and Will Smith, probably they have this
May I ask which year was it? Any idea your college?
2001, I guess.
Oh.
2001. So this movie was there. Okay, I could not figure out. Of course, they were doing some actions
Right.
and they were laughing.
Was it Shanghai Noon or
Nah, not Shanghai.
Will Smith and Jackie Chan? That's what I've known. That is Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan and one, yeah, I forgot the
Black guy, was it Chris
Yeah,
Tucker?
Black- Chris Tucker, right?
So what was it? It's a famous movie. They have 3 parts of
Yeah,
it.
3 parts actually.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
movie, huh?
Yeah.
With some spy
Yeah.
thing, right? So
Forgot.
I forgot the movie name, but I actually enjoyed that movie.
Please, if you know the movie, please put it in the comments. Yeah.
So after that we went to Nirula's and daily budget was 10 rupees for me. Right? And I somehow not 10 rupees, 10 for going, 10 for return, and 10 for spending.
Spending.
So 30 rupees total they were giving me. And they asked me to go to Nirula's. Okay, and we'll go to Nirula's. We'll have burgers and we'll do countries. Okay, and burger was this much.
Okay.
For the very first time, and we in the colony we used to have burger like a bun
Bun, huh?
and just a little tikki, in it.
Little tikki,
and
yeah.
that too oiled and whatnot. So I have seen that much burger only. I said it's not even fried. What type of burger is it? It's all veggies and stuff like this. I said, how do I eat it?
Right.
So anyway, the bill came and it was 80 rupees.
Oh my god, okay.
I said 10 rupees my saving. So 10 going, 10 coming back, and 10 rupees was left. So that was 10 rupees saving. If I spend that, that's gone. Otherwise, that was my saving. So that's how I was saving from it. And 80 rupees like 8 days for me.
Yeah.
I said, okay, you take 80 rupees and whatever the price for the ticket was,
Right.
100 rupees or something.
Right.
I said 200 rupees for one movie in
One
this.
more, yeah.
And then they'll have Coke or something that though I did not have. So I was liking this, but I didn't have money to spend on these things. But somehow I'll get along with these people. And exam I gave casually, and I got 69% in that. One that was a new university, MDU, Maharishi Dayanand University, and very strict in marking. Earlier it was Haryana board, it was still okay. Or CBSE board, they were only into concepts. So CBSE board is once you write something meaningful, they'll give you marks.
This is college, right? Or?
So in college they were MDU,
MDU.
Maharishi Dayanand. It was affiliated to MDU. Now they are deemed, I guess, their own university. So now 69 marks. It's like I failed, literally failed. I was in shock again. So the same thing came. Forget about first, second. 69 was failure to me, and the highest marks at that time was, I guess, 85% or something. I said no. This hostel thing is not working out for me. So anyway, I had this term to stay in the hostel for 1 year. I said I'll not engage with these dirty people now. They're making me spoiled. So I'll go and study hard this time. So our second semester was all into books. That guy, this Raju guy.
Raju. You were with the Raju guy. You shifted to his row.
Not shifted, but I was like following him now. I'll do like this.
Okay.
And second semester I got 76%.
Okay.
I said still better, but 76% I never got in my life. I mean, I was always 80s, 90s, not even 80s, 90s probably. So I said 76, but I started comparing 69 to 76, and probably 100 plus hours more study than previous semester. I said, what's the use? Only 6% I got even after
Doing
so much of study.
Right.
I said, I'm probably I'm on the wrong bus. I don't know what's the pattern here to study and give the exams. Later I realized it was on basis of the number of pages you fill.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is all about the pages.
Pages. I was like very concise, concept wise, and
Yeah.
hence proved. Like, but they were like, how many pages you write? Even in the maths exams,
Okay.
wherein you have to give the
Was big.
solution. First, make all the full patta and side lines.
Yeah. Big.
And, big covers. So they have this trick of reducing the space of written space. They mark two lines, as if rough work will be doing.
Rough work doing something. Oh, now when you said this, I'm remembering I used to do this.
Yeah.
Suddenly the memory came to me. Yeah. Rough work is needed, then only teacher will think, you wrote something. Else they think, how did
Actually,
you get the
they
answer?
used to see that rough work as well. What you wrote. I mean, is it related to that? Somehow?
I remember because sometimes I knew the answer. I did not need to do it, but I would do the rough calculation so the teacher would think, I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So college after first year, I started. Yes. So I got the pattern now that study is not working and understudy is also not working. I have to stay somewhere in between, and 80s is tough. I mean, here at least. So I got the pattern. At least 70s are good marks. I mean, it's not that bad marks. 80s are very good numbers.
Very good marks.
So I said, okay, I'll stay low here at least and do somewhat middle studies and balance things out. And so second, third, and fourth year all went into somehow scoring my average marks somewhere around 75, and still coming top 5, top 10 types, somewhere around that, between that range always. And in college I got a friend who was again doing this travel like I was commuting, right, going through this lifts and autos and whatnot. So there were a lot of students actually who were doing this to save money actually. And one semester I got a chance to get into the cab as well, and they were all these high rich people, right? Probably they have their own cars.
Right.
I had only cycle seen in my life, and they had their own cars, and their parents are allowing you to actually bring it to the college as well. And all these kids in the cab, they were their talks will be different. They'll talk about movies I haven't even heard of. They'll talk about subjects, politics, and adventures like this. Golf, for example, I haven't heard of golf that time.
Right.
So such sophisticated level was there, and I could not laugh at their jokes. First, I could not understand what they're saying. I mean, in terms of joke, and second, how would they? I mean, it's not a joke to me. So I would like kept mom in the cab and going and coming back, and they used to play rummy in the cab.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said at least I get to take part in that. I would not have to say something. I'll take part in that. So in that, but that insecurities, the more I was seeing people around me who were cultured, sophisticated, well dressed, good in English, especially rich people. So all these people were making me more insecure within. So somehow I was getting more down day by day. And then this day came wherein I have to give a seminar. So every semester they have to give a seminar on some subject. So I was into electronics and instrumentation. So a teacher asked me to give some MT or some subject was there, some mechanical subject was
Machine tools.
yeah, machine tools. So he made me, he said, okay, we have a seminar, you prepare it, you have 1 week. And now that memory came of that teacher who made me stand on the dais. Okay, I was nervous. I mean, and I was not aware at that time what happened. But when nervousness comes, you will start trembling, right? Your ears will turn red and warm somehow, and I don't know, that sensation keeps, the vibration keeps on, and you are not able to think, right? You are as if you are frozen. Whatever I am doing, I cannot laugh. I just go through my day, and I'll somehow what to do. I mean, I cannot escape from this. Somehow I wanted to escape. I cannot even discuss with someone, right, what to do about it. So they were like very casual about it. They would have probably talked in English. I have not talked in English. Same problem here as well. So till now I have not said even a one sentence in English. Said, written I was okay now.
Okay.
So I was not fluent in English.
Even in the English medium schools, you wouldn't.
I would not speak.
Okay, it was mostly Hindi conversation.
Mostly Hindi conversations. So there that challenge started coming up. How do I cope with that now? So I skipped that. Okay, marks is there, 10 marks, okay. You deduct it. I'm not going to give this seminar. So like this, they have this summer trainings. So after summer training, you have to present a presentation about what you did in the summer training, which company you went, what they were making and all. I was going to the trainings, right? And we grew together. Anit and me grew together through that not speaking much in the class. So we were liking it that way, each other's company. But suddenly he started learning music, right? And he started playing guitar and this thing. And
Okay.
He was liking it, and his voice was good. And I didn't like it. Why? Because he was suddenly becoming a star. And somehow he was getting there.
Ladies like it.
Ladies like it, and people talk, okay, play something, or this and that. And I was somewhere left behind.
Right.
I was only studies,
Right.
no sports, nothing. And that gave me another insecurity of stealing my friend, snatching my friend away from me due to this. And then I went back, and why this happens to me, and went into depression again. Kind of depression, that depression and stress. Why this happens to me? Why me? Again, why me came, right? Why God me like this? Why am I the only person in the earth who's introvert, who cannot talk to friends? I have the tongue, I can speak, but whom to talk to? What way to talk to? Should I read somewhere how to talk to? What do I read? I mean, where to go basically? I had no clue how to come out of this. Since day one, probably that seminar thing that happened. The stage fear, and after that it went on and on throughout these years. And so summer training, college. So final summer training, you are supposed to give the presentation.
No matter what, you can't
No
skip
matter
it.
what, you cannot skip that. Otherwise, I have lost too much of the numbers. I said, okay, somehow I'll give it. And finally, in my broken English, trembling, red ears, I gave that presentation again without looking at the teacher, face down, and gave that presentation. And somehow that happened. Teacher gave me B, and again it was not my expectation, because concept wise I was okay. I actually did the training,
Right.
and people are not going to the training, somehow getting the project from somewhere, and they were giving the presentation,
Right, yeah.
and they were getting A plus.
A plus.
I said, why me again? So college went like this. So college went, and final day, our exams are over. No, whatever company was supposed to come, there was only one company called Hewitt, that was supposed to come, very renowned MNC, a new branch was opening up in India, and got the aptitude clear. And they asked me to come. They were fortunately there was a big lot they were taking. 25 students they were supposed to take, and they were 150 odd students. I said still forget about it because 150 versus 25 is very less margin. They were very standard people who were good in aptitude, who were good in speaking English and probably studies as well. So I said no chance. Say anyway, go there and come back. But to my surprise, whatever they asked, I answered. It was all logical, not the technical or this and that. They were all logical, puzzles-like questions, and I answered those, and it happened. For the very after a long time, a ray of hope came. Something positive is happening, right? Something is possible.
Right.
Now I got on track. I got the job, MNC, good salary. Good salary is in 15,000. I'll tell the amount as well.
Right.
And at that time they were giving cab. And
Cab also.
Cab was the culture only for call center people at that time.
Okay.
I was on the top of the world. Cab, food they were giving as an perks,
Okay.
and travel, everything. Till that.
Right.
So, but this 4 years of college, towards the end, right, when I became open, we kind of became a group of people. Of course, via the company of Anit, because he was somewhat gelling with these people because of his aura towards music and everything. So he started having a reputation, and he became a wicket keeper as well in cricket. Right? So that's how he was. He was along with those people and along with me. So that's how it was. At least I was talking to these other people through him. Right? So towards the end, there was a group of people who were not placed anywhere.
Okay.
And we were Lukha guys, that nothing would happen to us, and we'll go here and there movies, and that's how this PVR Priyas became our adda. So we'll in the city, and the 4th year went like this. 4th year we were all casual, nothing is happening, no company is supposed to come, and we are all.
So it was the 3rd year placement happened. No?
My 4th year last semester.
Okay.
So till that time, my placement was did not happen. So 4th year we all became friends. We went to Vaishno Devi together, enjoyed the trip there. Somehow I started knowing these people now, right? So I said, okay, it was not that tough. All these years, I didn't talk to these people, and these are normal people, frankly. I had that too much of hype in my mind. They're studious and rich people. Even the rich people are casual, right?
Yeah.
It's not that it bothers too much. So that mental barrier started breaking at that time, and I became casual towards the end. And I was started. I mean, I don't know why they used to call me PJ.
PJ.
PJ is poor jokes.
Poor joke, yeah.
Poor jokes. I used to crack poor jokes.
Okay.
And Anit used to like it, and of course other people. So whatever trip he used to.
All girls love PJs. That's something they don't say.
Yeah, actually, this is what made me popular later.
Yes.
So
you don't need guitar skills. You don't need to be a sportsman. You just need to crack PJs. That's what I figured out.
Yeah.
I figured out it a little bit.
You have that tendency, I know.
Yeah.
It was like any statement I could convert it to.
Yeah.
You say anything, I'll reverse it.
Yeah.
But that's where I realized I have this hidden talent as well,
Yes.
which people are like.
It is in Mahabharata. What is that astra called?
Brahmastra.
Yeah, Brahmastra. Yeah.
So Anit had this music thing, right? Guitar thing, which was making it popular, and then among these people, I was getting popular because of these speeches.
Right.
As if I was so observant, and whatever statement they'll say, there will be always double meaning to it.
Right.
Be it non-veg or simple double meaning. So I'll always say in simple terms, not even laughing, right? But it'll become a joke in itself, and we all laugh together. So 4th year was where I started enjoying actually. I said, oh, why this college is so short? I still have to enjoy. So all these years I was into studies or within myself. Worrying about what will happen, why marks, where marks, why I'm like this, and figuring out all the college things. Now after placement, so placement happened, the batch of 25 people went into Hewitt. We were all same thing, same new phase, new people, same fear. Now more English. So English was after me
In the job place.
in the job, right? English was after me since day one. I mean, what do I do? So in the job, there was no escape. It was an MNC, right? US-based company. You are supposed to talk to one amongst your peers and then talk to the counterparts, US counterparts. And they used to allot us a buddy, mentor, right? So among these 3-4 people, they will be the buddy, and or above that, they are the project lead in the corporate. I got an IT job, right? So I was into instrumentation. I got an IT job, and I was still fine with it because I could not understand what instrumentation is. So I was never into instrumentation. I was always aspiring if I get a computer job. And my brother, eldest brother, was in computers. So we brought a computer at home very early time.
Which Pentium was it?
Month I don't know. It was
Pentium. This is Pentium 1, 2, 3, 4.
Even before that.
Oh, even before that. What was before Pentium? I don't know.
786.
Something like that.
Something called 786.
Okay. I had a Pentium 2 in the beginning.
Yeah. So after that he brought a colored Pentium or something. Colored CPU itself was the biggest invention at that time. That something brought this, and we bought it at 54,000. 54,000 was a big amount.
Yeah.
And he brought it, and in the colony we were popular that he got a computer. But he was after computers because he was studying computers, and probably he wanted to do a job in that direction. So whatever I could not do in college, right, I started enjoying this phase because one, we have liberty, we have phone, we have commutation is arranged, right? So I did not to scratch my head towards that. How do I go to college, right? So office was easy. So I would go there. They'll ask us to do something. Doing something was never a task for me. I could do it easily. Be it any concept, anything logical, anything analytical, anything which needs mind, that's easy for me. Right? But wherever it needs creativity, involvement, engagement, I was very far from that. Ever talking to someone. Yeah, so I was there in Hewitt. So Hewitt, we have this batch of 25 people. We're all trained. That English thing came in picture again. Now, there I started enjoying life a bit because I have some money in hand, right? I was handing it over to my mom. She said, "You keep it." Yeah. Then I was keeping it parked in banks, and then enjoying a little bit of luxury I had. So there we have our own struggles. So someone who is into corporate world, right, they could relate probably that corporate is especially for a fresher. Nowadays the fresher are of different zone. Otherwise we were like barely could speak English, and you are into an MNC. And I remember one incident. So earlier my project lead used to handle all the calls, right? So he will talk to all the ownership partners. So he'll say good morning, good evening, whatever the status is. He'll take to Have tera kitna hua? You tell me, and he'll say to the partner. Now somehow my manager got changed, right? And we got another manager, and that manager probably was an introvert himself. Somewhere those insecurities were there, and he was not that opened up, right? And he became our manager, and so very first day we said, "Sir, we have a call. Shall we go to the conference room? We'll have the teleconference there." He said, "You come, I'll come." After that, I mean, you go, I'll come after you. I said, "Okay, but call is in 10 minutes. You know, right?" I'll just come. You go. And me and my friend were there, and we were waiting that he'll come. And of course, we dialed the number so that just in case he joins, it'll be immediately start. But he did not come.
Okay.
And someone started saying hello.
Yeah.
They started saying the names, and we were like, should we say something, because we don't know how to speak in English properly, and they're like, it'll be embarrassing for them, right? That way. So we said hello. How are you? So frankly, we were thinking too much of hype.
Yeah.
But the foreigners, they don't bother much.
Yeah.
They know English is like that only. So they were like okay with that. We started enjoying the process.
Is it okay?
So later I realized, whatever reason it happened, but I kind of relating it back to my English learning course, right? I was very uncomfortable among the people who were all English speaking, right? But somewhere I got the okay type people. Here in my case, my manager, he was okay type. If I get along with that, I feel more comfortable. But someone who is higher than me, I struggle a bit. So I said I should find people who are around myself in terms of their skill set, in terms of your speaking. But this Natasha and Pramod was different, right? So they are of different societies, but still they were coming along. I said, why? I could not figure it out. So why is it that happening? But anyway, we were going along smoothly. So later, so this job thing kept going, and 2 years I spent there. 1.5 year I spent there. Then I started looking. So the technology was very specific to a product, right? So I started worrying about my career, that if I stuck to this product, how would my career enhance? So I later switched to a company called United Health Group. So again a start. I mean, it was starting into the Gurgaon, new company. I went there, I gave the interview, and fortunately I cracked. Right? So that was the another time. But in Hewitt, what was happening is another pattern. The guys who were backbenchers,
Okay.
right? Backbenchers, even here. I mean, they were not in the training. They were doing all the mastis. In fact, they were doing all hoo-halla, not studying. Somehow they what do you call
In the company also.
talk to even the company. They talk to their managers,
Okay.
ask them to go to pub or
Right.
drink with them, and his manager will get set,
Right.
and eventually they'll get ratings.
Right.
I'm saying, what type of culture is it? I'm studying hard, I'm working hard, but the people who are backbenchers, who are smart enough, they can speak, they're outspoken in the world, and they know the tricks as well to fool people, right? How would I survive in this society this way? So that shocked me, and in fact, yeah, that kept going this way. I was like, okay, I should change the company. I changed the company. I got a new company. Now this time, United Health Group was evolving, so they gave us training a little bit. But later, I got the same type of manager, which is not so good in English or not so confident. Sorry, but that was my observation. It could be otherwise as well. But same thing happened, but good thing that happened was he was favoring me in few things. He gave me opportunity to train others.
Okay. Oh.
So I was good in technical always. So anything related to mind, whereas mind has to be applied, I was good at it. Basically logical, analytical, understanding things within me. If I have to sort it out within me, I am good at it. And my observation is good, my listening skills is good. It's just that it's not coming out. Everything is sinking in. So this training thing came, and he said, okay, you give training to the others. I said, why again this seminar and presentation things? How do I escape now? It's almost half my life, right? 22 probably was the age, and then still that was happening. How do I escape from this fear of unknowns coming to me, unknown face, unknown situation, unknown language, as in language I was not comfortable with, unknown things. So I said, okay, you're stuck there, you cannot do again anything, so you have to take this burden. Then I took that training. Somehow broken English, technical I was okay, so I made them understand the concept. How was the training? They asked him, yeah, training was good. I said, it was good.
Right.
Really? Yeah, it was good. You were making all the concept clear. It's just that you stuck here and there, you were confused what to do. I said they were not worried about my English. They were worried about I got stuck in the topic and they got confused about the topic.
Right.
So it was the content I was delivering they were bothered rather than what I was saying or what way I was saying. I said, okay, I can work on the content for sure. So I double worked on the content, and next the content delivery became smoother. So that's how I kind of started giving trainings in United Health Group, which later became Optum. So that went on and on. That was year 2007 I joined UHG. So till 2010 I was the brightest kid there. Brightest as in my manager was supporting me, of course. He was giving me opportunities and I was doing the work. And I got promotion and one promotion and another promotion very quick. And then I went to US.
You went to US?
Yeah, I went to US.
Oh, okay.
I went to US for 6 months. No, it was 3 months period. I wanted to explore things. So that was a good chance for me to stay alone, one, and look within me. And of course,
When did you meet Akka? We have not resolved that.
yeah, she'll come.
Okay.
So 2010 is when I went there. And then in meanwhile, I started feeling that I should have some type of friend, which is girl. And that feeling, probably that hormones started playing at that time, that I should get involved with some girl in some way. And of course, I had friends, but those were not girlfriends.
Right.
I should have girlfriend. Of course, I was talking to a few friends. I thought, can I make girlfriend among them?
Right.
So those thoughts started coming, but all my friends have girlfriends, literally,
Yeah.
all of them.
Okay.
Even Anit had now.
Right.
So I was jealous as well as he was my friend, right? But that was okay to me. I mean, at least him getting involved somewhere. So this US thing, I went. Anit was there already, so I went along with him, roam around.
He was also there with you in US.
Yeah. Okay. So Niagara Falls and this and that. We all went there, enjoyed that phase. But there, that feeling again came. One is girlfriend not there, one is support not there, and it was of course at some other place. Whom do I hang on to? I cannot do anything here. Right? So there was a big void. I mean, whom to talk to now? Somehow I managed those situations, figuring those out among us, talking. Okay, I had no one else to talk. These two people only. Let's figure it out. What went wrong? Why we are doing this Big Boss fight? So we were all cooking in our own rooms after that.
After that, huh?
Yeah.
It's separated.
Separate rooms. So later that Nalini, the Akka came into my room and we were cooking together, and that guy was separate.
Right.
So that some category divided and that happened. But somehow I started learning this skill of talking and sorting it out there. And afterwards, once I came back, my brother was married at that time. Recently got married in 2010 when I went there. And there were few family situations which were happening, the Saas Bahu and this thing. They started happening, and to an extent, I could not even imagine that can happen, frankly. I said, okay, what is it that is happening? And I had developed this habit of talking and sorting things out. That's the easiest way I found. I said, okay, what is the issue? And talked to my Bhabhi and talked to my mother, sat with them together, separately. Okay, what is the issue? This issue. Yeah, this looks fair. So what is the issue? What did mom do? She did this. I know if she did, okay. If she did, she should not have done it.
Right.
Went to the mom, understand her aspect. Yeah, you look also fine. You did the same good thing. What is the fight about? Why she said this? Why she did this? Blah blah. Why more salt in the dal and this and that? Small things. I said, how do I sort it out? But somehow I managed to sit them together. Okay. So this is your version. This is your version. What is wrong? So they'll speak few words to each other, why you did this, that, and after that they'll gel alone.
Okay.
I said finally.
Yeah.
So I got a mediator now. Skill that somehow I can mediate and sort things out. And with friends I started doing it.
Okay.
Their girlfriends, and this breakup was happening, and somehow I was making them get together. And that started coming along. I said, okay, I have another skill now, so I can talk. But why can't these people see? Probably they're in their relationship, they cannot see. I can see, that's easy thing. Now 2000, around that time, so this Deepika, my wife,
Okay.
now, so she came in picture. So she was a distant relative.
Okay.
So she came, she was living with her nani here, came for study in college. I was into job and she was into college. So of course I was looking for an emotional support, and she was there studying, and there were few complex subjects like maths for people,
Right.
and she was struggling with it and few other subjects, and someone said that this guy was good in studies, so you can go and ask. Anyway, it's your relative, so you can go and nearby living. So she came to me, and I want to understand this. I said, okay, what is it? It's been long now, but okay, I can help you out. So I helped her out, and she cleared the test.
Okay.
So that's how she got the confidence. Okay, this guy knows something, and we started talking. Right. So what is the issue in your studies and this and that? And right, somehow we were good friends now. Though the age difference was there, but at least in terms talking terms, she was understanding me, I was understanding her. And when I went to US in between, so this gap increased. Then I realized I was so used to talk to her daily that now I'm not talking, I'm feeling that gap.
Right.
But I had this phone. Somehow called her and talking to how do we make this dal and how to do this there. And we started long conversations now. Earlier there were mini conversations. Now I had phone, I have no one else around me. Now we have started having long conversations. So there I got to know the relationship. Then I said, okay. Anyway, there was no feeling as such. I was just thinking in terms of friends. Anyway, she was friend, so no point. But when I came back, I realized some closeness because someone was away for a long time, 3 months, and I also felt that. But we never said anything to each other like that. So she, of course, used to come at our home, so that presence was, of course, needed always. But somehow we never spoke to each other in terms of that I love her or she loves me. In that terms, that was unsaid. Right. Unsaid connection that was building on. And then finally on one day I said, I went to her. Right? I said, possible to hai nahi. It's not possible. And she understood. I said, our marriage is not possible.
Right. Oh, you said like that. That.
I did not see the word marriage.
Yeah.
I said, it's not possible, you know that, right? She said, I know though, but as if we were both in virtual agreement that we love each other.
Oh, okay.
And I was not surprised, she was not surprised.
Right.
We could see her in each other's eyes that we love each other. We never said that. And we knew that one is, of course, age gap. 8 years was the age gap. And then she's in college, and I'm about to get married. At that age.
Right.
And if my parents here, and of course, he was in distance relation. So in relation, they would say, no, we cannot do it that way. The family background and this and so many things were coming in picture. Then I said, what to do about it? But she came. She kept coming to my house, and I was also, since we were relatives, right? So we were going to each other's house, and then that presence was always there. But since my arranged marriages process started, right? I was going to marriage bureaus through my mother and this and this. So then I said, oh, okay, I have this thing I have to tell my parents. I told them that there's this girl and this is the girl, and they were so shocked. You knew that you will do something like this and that.
Right.
So much of thoda emotional drama happened, and I'm like, okay. It was embarrassing. First, I never spoke too openly to anyone, and that too straightforward love marriage.
Right.
And age gap and this and that, I was still confused. Is it right thing, wrong thing, what to do? Should I do this? And I was doing the job as well. So that 2010, once I came back from US, and 2014, when I got married actually.
Okay.
So that drama went on and on.
For 4 years.
4 years, no, 3 years roughly. In fact, 4 years, because I told them 2011 or something. Meanwhile, my brother got married, and 2010 he got married. Right? 2010 to 14 was a very rough phase for me, wherein I was doing nothing. Job, I did not have a clue, and career announcement and this and that. Whatever was happening, I was doing it in a flow. And majorly, I was into talking to her or get stuck there. So those 4 years went like this, and eventually, and then there was this friend of the English medium school, where in 11th I got stood first. Right? So there was this friend from there whom I met in Hewitt. So he told me that I was from GBN, and then and we started coming in cab and talking to each other. Somehow he has that same mindset I have, analytical mindset, too much of thinking, keeping quiet, very sharp in terms of observation. So all those qualities were there somehow. And he was also from a background, he was coming not from a posh background, not from a good financial background. So we were talking sensibly to each other. Now whatever he's talking, I am understanding, and mostly he was talking. Right? So Siddharth, till date we talk.
Okay.
So he went to US in between for a long time. One fine day I talked to him that Siddharth, I'm stuck here. I don't know what to do. I feel lost. I know for the whole life, and for the first time I am opening to someone. For the whole life I am not able to understand why this fear thing is coming. And then should I marry this girl or not? He said you should not.
Okay.
I said I won't talk to you.
Okay.
I want to marry.
Right.
So, but anyway, I was a friend, so he could say that. I would not listen to him, at least on that term. But we kept talking about these aspects. So I said, I need peace.
Huh.
I don't know where life is going, where the hell this whole life, I want you to enjoy life. I want you to open. I don't want this separation feeling to come. Somehow that is happening. I cannot talk to anyone. I cannot figure it out what it is. And for the first time, I want a girl in my life for my own, with my own wish. Till now, I have listened to my parents very quietly, right? And they have done enough for me in terms of putting on a track, a good education system they have given me, and I'm into a good job, salary, this and that. But I can listen to myself or not. So he said, I'm listening to Osho. I said, who is Osho now? In all these girls' talks, so you're talking
Who's Osho?
So I'm listening to Osho, is making sense to me, and whatever you're saying, I cannot recall because I could not connect what he's saying at that time. One last line he said was, see, all of us in our inward journey are same, at the same level and the same potential. That same potential, that line stuck me. For the first time in my life, someone was telling I'm equal to someone.
Right.
Otherwise, I am inferiority complex, introvert, comparing all the time. Why I'm not like this? Why God this did to me? This did to me. For the very first time, someone was telling I'm equal to someone, at least in inward journey. I said, I could not make sense out of it, what it is, but I saw hope. The very first time I was hearing something. So I was talking to this friend, and for the first time I saw a ray of hope. That at some level I am in parallel to someone. So Deepika, anyway, eventually my parents got tired. Right? So I had too much of, kept looking for girls. But everywhere, whomsoever I was looking for arranged marriage, I'll talk. Generally, there's an interview process. Right?
Yeah.
What do you eat? What are your hobbies? And that's it. Will you cook after marriage?
Yeah.
These are general questions we used to ask. And I said, what am I doing? I mean, whomsoever I am meeting, right? What I see is Deepika had this, this girl had the same thing or not. Deepika has it. Is this girl has this feature or not? I said, if I want this, right, and I'm looking in someone else the same features or same qualities, it does not make sense. So one fine day, Anit and I kept talking about it, and he has this breakup experience a lot. So now he was consoling Kalra. I mean, my surname is Kalra. So Kalra, do this. If you really want her, go for it. Whether you have to run or whatever, you go for it.
Right.
I don't know what gave me that strength on that day, and I said, okay, this is the final time I am making my mind. I'll marry this girl only. That's it. No going back. Right? My parents will tell different stories about this girl so that I change my mind.
Yeah.
My relatives, all the place that I'm in, a lot of my relatives are there. Everyone knew now. It became a story. And they started making this rumor that they have this flat purchase already. They'll run away, do this. I said, I'm saying openly that I'm at this stage, right? I want to marry this girl. Since you have not agreed upon, I'm stopping myself. That's it. Nothing we have done as such, as a planning. But on that day, I decided, okay, I'll go for the court process, registration process, or whatever it is, and I'm going to get married with this girl. And I started taking that stand. Probably they saw in my eyes now
The change.
that the firmness with which I was telling now. So finally, one day I was sitting. My mom was sitting. Why are you doing this to me? And my life is ruining. Finally, your dad said yes. I said what?
I said,
One place he was saying that I'm depressed, and one place suddenly she said one line that your dad is agreeing upon this. You do whatever you want to do. I said okay. I sneaked out.
Okay.
I didn't listen to anything else. Anyway, they said yes in whatever way they want. I said I'll go ahead. So I said do whatever you want. There's a clue basically.
Yeah.
Don't make it a drama. I mean, do whatever you want to do. So then I went to her. See, my age is almost 31, right? And it's too late already in terms of age wise. So talk to your parents now. They agreed.
No.
So she never thought that she'll have to go and talk to their parents, because 3 years with my parents, 3 and 4, whatever it is, and now that drama will start in her family.
Okay.
I said not another 3 years. I mean, where would it take? I say do one thing, talk to your parents, tell them this is the situation, and whatever happens for a few months, that's okay. And otherwise we'll run away. Run away as in court marriage.
Right.
Not run
Run
away.
away.
Then she was, and I admire her for this. She's firm from day one. So whatever she does, she know that she is supposed to do that. That's it. I like that actually, and I envy sometimes why I don't have this. I mean, I want to do this. I'm asking so many people, and she's not even asking someone. And straightforward, she went to her parents and told that I love this guy and want to get married. They are, of course, the family drama, and her dad, of course, revolted. I would not talk to this girl. I would disown her, this and that. And that went on for another 3 months. By the time she was out of college. So now I said, at least good news is I'm not marrying to a college.
Right.
Right? I'm into a job, so much of experience, and then I'm marrying to a girl who's in college. It'll look odd to a society, and I have too much of society fear.
Right.
Facing people.
Yeah.
So and now what I said is she was looking for a placement. I said I can try in my organization. I had few links. She said, go ahead. I want to have the interview, and I was shy enough. I was looking for it as a favor. I should not do that. It will unethical and this and that. But somehow she had her resume passed.
Oh, okay.
And she said, okay, the interview is scheduled. Now you get to know who is the manager. And then she told me, of course, once we get along in the same organization, it will be tough for the parents as well to not to agree. That clicked me. Okay, that day I went to my manager straightforward. I said, this is the situation. I openly said, this is the situation. Now, if I have to get to marry this girl, the only solution we have is if she gets into the same organization, please do something.
Right.
So manager was, of course, he'll go by the process.
Right.
He said, of course, we'll do something as an interview schedule. So who is the interviewer? This interviewer. So let her at least give the interview. So she gave the interview, and she was a sharp girl. So the interview was fine. Naturally, it was fine. I need not to do anything. And then after interview, the placement was delayed. And after so many attempts, finally we got to know that she got selected.
Right.
And we started coming in the same cab. Of course, Faridabad.
Right.
Now the parents had no choice. Even her parents.
Yeah.
My parents are okay now. Her parents got agreed, and finally we got married on. I don't remember the date.
Oh my God! Finished. Anna, you're dead. I'm not going to edit this part, guys. You want to see the death ceremony?
Now my wife,
Follow Anna's page.
my wife knows
Oh my-
I'm very bad at dates.
Classic. Good content.
Even for this podcast, I was remembering what date this was. All the dates in my past. Somewhere in August 2014.
I'm going to put this.
19 it is.
Wait, I'm going to chip this part and put it in the beginning of the like a clickbait.
It is 19 August. 19 August 2014, I got married. And
If it is the wrong date, you're finished on it is better to say no date than the wrong
we'll
date.
edit, huh? Yeah.
No, this is not it. I go back on my word.
No. There's something attached to it. I remember it now. It's 1990. So I got married. That friend, Osho friend, came back from US.
Yeah.
So we started coming along in the same cab. We three were going, of course. We started having more discussions. I said, I need peace in my life.
Still peace is
Peace. I mean,
elusive.
I got married, that I'm satisfied in that sense. I am enjoying that phase. That is okay for now. I mean, I'm into marriage for 1 year now. But I want still the peace. I'm looking for, I of course Googled it. Right?
Peace. How to find peace?
How to find peace? What is peace?
What is peace?
What is peace actually? So I started digging down and I started looking into fear of uncomfort. I mean those type of words. Introvert. I was more relating to that. Oh, something called introvert exists. Something called fear of anxiety exists. Right. So I starting looking at it mechanically. I mean some expert has given some advice on anxiety, how to get out of anxiety that way. You breath watching, you watch your breath, you watch a candle, do
Yeah.
meditation, and then so many things, deep breathing,
Right.
so many things they say about anxiety and depression. So I realized actually I was into that state throughout my life. That anxiety was happening. Why? Because I could feel those sensation all the time as if I am into some state of fear. I'm not saying it just for the sake of saying it. It's actually I could still feel it that throughout my life I never felt the wave of that joy within me. Whatever the moments of happiness were there, those were somehow suppressed moment. I was doing it, but half-heartedly. Types.
Right.
I mean, I was not even laughing properly. Right? Somehow, if I laugh, I have to hide my face that way. Even through this job journey and then coming along after the marriage as well. But that became me. This became my nature. And in the job, what started happening after that was I got a project lead role. Associate lead, they used to call it, and I got a team. I am struggling through all my fears within me, and then this team came. I was good at technical. Right? Technical, no one was. I'm at some level, at least in my knowledge. I'm at some level, and I could make sense in that world. But once it comes to people, right, I could not handle them properly. And someone was saying you have to lead the team, which means interact with the people. And once it comes to the people dealing with the people can get very complex. Right? They have their own aspiration, they need motivation, right? At times they need the packages. And as a lead, you have you have so much, I mean, at least in corporate words, you have so many responsibilities that you have to give the citation of the people. How did they do, right? With data points for their appraisals. And this thing was very new to me. And I was like into very much of uncomfort dealing with the people. And especially English was not that good, and still I have to write the citation in a good fancy words. Right? Exemplary performance. I said how to cope up with that. And then again, I want peace.
Right.
After marriage, I wanted peace. After this job, I want peace. I mean, everything. I came to a point wherein I need some relaxation out of this life. That is too much of a burden for me. At a boiling point now, it will burst out. Then somewhere I started reading how to get out of it. One way was meditation. I said meditation, okay. I saw, Google it, how to do meditation. Someone was looking at the tip of the candle.
Okay.
And I did it. I felt good though, but I said, what am I doing actually? Someone said, wash the breath. I said, wash the breath. How do I wash the breath actually? I could not figure it out what it is.
Right.
I said, I should learn meditation actually from someone. Then the children, my child happened on 2016, 22 October
Okay.
2016.
Okay.
My child happened. And then, of course, the second phase of my life started, and wherein we started getting more into the social life. There, I have some shoulder, at least in terms of my wife, whom I could share things with.
Right.
And she was consoling me. This will get fixed, or that will get fixed. I used to tell her that in the office this happened, that happened. But see, one thing is something happened, right? Now, once you come back, I don't know if someone can relate. It used to happen a lot with me. Once I come back, that thought will come back. Right? I'm eating. That thought isn't
Right.
playing in a loop. I want to come out of it, but I cannot. है ना? Let's say someone did some politics in my office.
Yes.
Right? Back talk.
Stabbing, yeah.
Back talk.
Yeah.
That he's like this, and somehow I got to know that talk. I cannot directly confront him because they are not coming to me and saying this. And they're saying this is a bad guy in terms of the behavior or skills or whatever. And I am agreeing to this. I accepted that. Oh, I'm a bad guy. Where do I go? I cannot say to this person. And that loop is on. I cannot sleep throughout the life. And that loop is on and on. I wake up, what to do? Anxiety, drinking water and getting back. But that train of loop of thoughts is never stopping. And that became a pattern in job. Oh man, I'm in a big mess now. Until now it was within me, and probably I could somehow manage it. Now, life is at mid of the. I'm so-called mature person now. I'm leading a team. If I tell this to someone that I'm struggling these issues within me, how would they react? I said I have to figure it out by myself. Then meditation was the only hope I could figure out till that time. And this friend, I said, I'm going to Vipassana. I said, no, what is that? He said, some place they teach the meditation,
Right,
10
right.
day
Right.
something. 10 days is too much, man. What are you doing? Let's go to someone. I'll also go, but one day is fine. He said, Nani, this is serious. My dad has gone and he has a good experience, and I'll go. And what happened to me? And I said, okay, I'll also go.
Oh, okay. You went for.
I did not even listen to what the rules are. I was like, I need an escape. That's it. That's the only thing which were coming to the peak. I need an escape. So Vipassana, I went there without knowing the rules, and last day I saw the rules. First, we were not getting registration because there's a center in Sona, right, which was a famous center. Everyone wants to go, but there were no bookings. But new center was opening in Lali, near Bhimani. So I said, Bhimani is my wife where she used to live before marriage. So I said, you go to home, I'll drop you. Me and my friend will go to this place for Vipassana. So the moment I entered that hall and they started jotting out all the rules, this is, so rules, right, Vipassana.
Some silence is for the entire.
So it's a silence program,
Yeah,
basically 10-day silence program where you cannot speak,
communicate.
complete moan, no cell phones, no gestures, right? And you have to sleep on floor. And then
Not even a mat or something.
no, not mat. They had some slab where you
Okay.
could sleep. And then you cannot, of course, phones were not taken away, and then you cannot have your own food. You cannot run away, they'll lock you from inside. In the bigger hall, they'll lock you. And then they will give you a schedule, right, wherein you eat 2 times a day, and then whole day meditation.
Oh my
And I was an IT guy.
Yeah.
Sitting, like right now we can sit, but earlier it was like hell.
Yeah.
Sitting on the ground, I'm like this,
Right.
always doing this. I cannot even do this. It was that high. More than this.
Yeah.
So what I did was, sitting was a challenge. They were giving a cushion though. And in meanwhile, between somewhere between that time, after marriage, or even prior to marriage, I don't remember, somewhere around 2014 itself, I had this sciatica develop.
What is sciatica, no?
So sciatica dysplasia they call it, and even later I realized it's a condition wherein the lower back gets weakened, especially the L4, L5 vertebrae. So when I went to the doctor, so what happened was I was very fond of playing table tennis.
Yes,
Yeah.
I also play.
So in the this table tennis I was playing, and I was playing aggressively. You know. So one fine day there is a shot I was playing. You know, smash.
Full on smash.
So I was smashing and tuck. Some sound came from the back, and I cannot move. Literally,
Right.
I'm frozen there. I mean, hands moving, but back is stuck at this position.
Right.
I said, where do I go? I cannot even go down
Right.
from that position. So I'm stuck at that position. I want to play. I want to at least sit down, do something.
Right.
Now the friends were there, of course, in the table tennis room. I said, well, they were making fun of him, as if I'm a statue or something.
Right.
I said, don't make fun of me. It's actually happening.
Right.
I cannot bend my knee. I mean, bend my back. So they made me somehow sit against the wall, you know, and I was like literally in pain. Something was happening. I could not figure out something. I thought back broken or something.
Right.
I did not even hear those terms, disc or something. So I went to doctor and went to home. Of course, somehow you just like this after an hour.
Right.
Somehow stabilized my back. Went through cab. Went to next day to the physiotherapist. And physiotherapist was new to me. The term itself was new to me. And I went to doctor and he asked me to stretch my legs like this. So doing some feet movement.
Right.
So he said, you get your MRI done. And there they figured out it was L4, L5.
Came off.
No, so L4, L5, so muscles around that vertebrae is very weak. So what happens is the disc between the two vertebrae compresses. Right, compresses in some wear tear happens there. In thickness it reduces.
Oh.
So all the nerves are going through your spine.
Right.
So little compression there, right, will compress one of the nerves which is going either limbs, either hands or legs.
Right.
So mine was left leg. So left leg would go numb. Some type of tingling sensation would happen all the time, as if after long sitting happens, right? So your legs get numb. So that sensation was on throughout my day. And if I move a little bit here and there, that will pain like anything. So that went on and on, almost for 1 year. This situation.
You were with that.
Yeah, I'm like I'm still at young age, and such a big thing happened. In fact, it was prior to marriage, I guess.
Right.
So I'm still not married. That thought started coming, and how am I getting older or what? I'm playing. My diet is okay. What happened? Why it happened? No answers. But somehow I was managing that situation, and there's this belt they give you, right, to stabilize your back. So he gave me this belt, and I'm very fond of table tennis. I told you, right? So I'll wear this belt and I'll go to table tennis room and I'll just watch. Someone would say, "Araj, match lagane. Coming for play today." As if they are provoking me to play. I said, "I'll play only standing. I'll not move. I'll still beat you." And that's a challenge. Somehow he will win 10-9. I mean, 10-10, not 10-10, but somehow he'll beat me. I'm like, yeah, if I could do something just standing, I could beat him like this only.
Right.
If I could move something. Started moving a little bit with that belt on.
Okay.
I played right for 1 hour, 2 hours with that belt on.
Okay.
But after I removed the belt, it is burning like anything, this area.
Okay.
I said I should not have done it. And 2 days bed rest after this.
Oh my God.
Now this became a pattern. I'll go and play. I could not resist. I could not stop myself. And then
Bed rest.
for a week, sometime, and even doctor will say that, "What are you doing? I told you do this." He'll give me TENS. There's a compression suppression machine they put us in. It'll stretch your back and put
is it? Okay.
Yeah. And then they will heat treatments. So basically easing out those nerves to settle down, right? Resting those nerves around. No solution as such, no fixing as such. He was giving me sub exercise, which I was sometime doing, sometime not doing. But this situation went on and on. Right? Sciatica thing became a big hurdle in my life. As if I cannot move. That is the backbone of everything, right? You cannot move, you cannot play, and I don't know if you probably cannot get married as well that way. That was the biggest fear at that time. The physical challenge it became. Right? And then with that belt on for almost a year, that I kept playing and somehow stabilizing for few days, on and off, on and off. Went to Vipassana, right? So
Tell us about that experience.
yeah. So there I could not actually sit on the ground.
You were still carrying the belt with
Yeah,
you?
I carried that belt with me just in case something happens, right? So I told them that I had this condition earlier. It was not there at that time. The pain was not because of that, but somehow I had this fear that it may pop up. Or it is gone. I was confused. It is 1 year now, it is not happening. But sitting on the ground, it was the biggest challenge at that time. They were asking us to meditate as in they have certain process of focusing on the breath and sensations. So initial few days, how do I meditate? I mean, my whole focus is on my legs, right?
Right.
I cannot sit every time I'm doing this, shaking, standing up. They're not allowing to even stand up. And we were doing meditation almost 10, 12 hours a day. The guy who cannot even sit, and if you ask him straightforward to do 10, 12 hours of it became a torture, frankly, for me. And then within me, when I close my eyes, watch your breath, as in I was literally watching eyes. I was rolling my eyes here and there. How do I watch it?
Right.
And so much of my eye sense, I never closed my eyes and saw within. Right? So I'm like, where to watch? He said, close your eyes. I said, where do I put my eyeballs?
Right.
I mean, in the middle, in the side, or where? I said, why are you worrying? I mean, the teacher used to say, why are you worrying about the eyeballs? Wherever they are, let it be. But in that process, it became too much of hassle. And then suddenly I realized where my tongue is. And that became a drama in itself. Tongue should be touching up, down, side, this and that. I was confused. I went there again to a teacher. I was a question bank
Right.
at that time. Too many questions. So I went to teacher again. Where do I put tongue? So what's with the tongue? Keep it wherever it is. But suddenly in that process itself, that Vipassana, too much of my mind and that sense organs started playing. My tongue twisted.
Okay.
It started playing on its own.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, how do I control it? The moment I hold it, I cannot physically hold it,
Right.
And it is playing like anything. I said, what is happening? Eyeballs, I am tired of rolling it up here and there. It became too dry.
Right.
I said, I need eye drops. So they said, nothing can happen now. You are into this program. So that whole program became a torture.
That was a torture. Oh my God.
Physical torture, the senses playing here and there, and I cannot tell anyone. Biggest fear. No, I said, boss, you have no choice. Sit. Whatever they're saying, 10 days, sit for that. I would not run away. That is the only commitment I have with me. No matter what, people have ran away.
Yeah, I have done podcasts with a few people who have ran away. Yeah.
So I didn't run away. So I said, okay. After 4-5 days, I just sat. Okay, whatever they're saying, I'll do it. Things started becoming little easy then. Right? And then one fine day, I'm doing meditation, and something started happening. As if something loose within the physical body, I started experiencing. I said, I closed my eyes, and that loose feeling or wavy or airy feeling I was getting, and then I opened my eyes. I said, everything is hard and solid. What is that wavy feeling or coming from? I closed my eyes. I stayed with it. I started playing around it, what it is, questioning it mentally. Did not get the answer. I said, okay, stay with it. So the moment I surrendered to it, it started opening up. I won't go too much of into it, what was that experience, but that experience was something beyond body, right? Which I could not figure out for the very first time. Something happened. I was confused. on the 11th day they allowed us to speak. So I talked to my friends about it. They have their own versions of experiences.
Right.
I went to this gufa and I had this what you call vision. My uncle came. I got lollipop or whatnot.
Okay.
So different type of visions, right? And then in front of their story, my story was nothing.
Right.
I kept mum. Okay, I was listening to their stories, and that friend who went with me, I told him this story, and he said, sensation was happening to me, and nothing much happened there. I said, why? I don't know what happened to me. I said, this is a good thing. Though. I started enjoying that experience.
Right.
I said, I'll come back and my life will transform. So there's one thing they call Angbhang. Angbhang is the eventual state which Buddha would have got through this Vipassana.
Right.
So they said through this process you can reach out to Angbhang. And on the last day I asked teacher, how do I know I have got the Angbhang thing? Yeah, I have reached there. He smiled. And why is smiling? He did not answer. He said continue the process. Later I realized probably whatever experiences we were having in that environment, that was one of the major reasons for that was to happen was the environment and the space they have prepared. Right? The kind of mon we were keeping, the moment I came out, too much of loop of thoughts started happening again. That hodgepodge, that outside traffic sound and everything started coming in play, and once we came out of the program, we were too much sensitive towards everything, every sensation literally. Even the sound, I could see what is happening within.
Right.
I said, how much of this is a torture to us? All these external factors of this calmness, everything is getting disturbed now. I thought next morning I'm going to Angbhang. I'll do meditation, I'll reach to Angbhang. Next day I'm sitting, nothing happening. I said, I cannot even watch my breath now.
Right.
So few days I did Vipassana, nothing happening. I cannot focus, I cannot do anything. I said, I don't know what, I have to go to Vipassana all the time to do this, and I have seen people going again and again. I said, I can go, but this sitting thing, I cannot bear that torture again. So I said, okay, better fix this body first. So I somehow got the taste now. Right? So the friend told me about Osho, so I started listening to Osho. And actually those terms which I am talking about, that fear, anxiety, that and in between I started having that questions within me, right? What is the meaning of all this, whatever we are doing? Why life is so boring as such? I mean, I used to play TT, right? But if you keep doing the same activity again and again, that has its own charm though. But if you keep doing it repetitively, that loses its charm. Which means the same activity which was interesting to me some time back, that started getting boring if you repetitively do it, no matter what you do. Right? At one time I started experimenting. I said, I'm bored in my life, I want peace, meditation I cannot do. So I started again doing Google. Google Math Baba is already there. So I started Googling. Someone said, follow your passions. That will give you peace and satisfaction. I said, okay, follow your passion. What is my passion? Drawing. Drawing I used to like. Then technical, I was good at. And then table tennis. These are three things I could remember. I said, technical, I am into manager role now. Okay, let's do this thing. I talked to my manager. Please take me out of this manager role. I want to go to technical. And I want to work as per my strengths. And he said, what happened to you now? So many years now you are waking up. So I said, please do that. He said, you will not get your promotion this time. You are about to get promoted. I said, okay. I mean, I want to do something now. It's enough. I'll look for this peace everywhere. Nowhere I'm getting. I have to try out things. So I was after my passion. Technical, I learned few skills, big data technology, and I moved into a project. That project stayed with me for 2 years. Right, kept working there. I liked it very much. Two things. One is it was of my interest, my passion. So I'm supposed to love it. and I started liking that project. And second, variety. Earlier I was stuck to mainframe technology. Mainframe is quite boring old technology, right? And here I got big data technology. And in this project, we used to do research on so many different technologies. Every other week, we'll get a new platform or a technology to work on. And every other week, I had to get to learn new things. So one is the variety, one is my passion. Both things which were like super combination. I started loving my work. But after some time, situations started happening. As if, of course, work is there, right? There will be some team member, some situation will be happening. We will be given some work. After some time, same type of pattern started forming, which was there earlier as well. And after almost 6 months or 1 year, I started getting bored again. I said, I like variety, but how many types of variety? Every other week I am getting new technology. I don't get settled into one technology. I have to jump to another technology to experiment on. I'm tired of this. And same thing happened with the passion as well. I like this technology, working on it day-to-day basis, but it became a usual task for me. Right? I mean, you get expert into something, and that became a usual thing for me. I said, now it happened. I started something to come out of that boredom or unfulfillment. Now same thing happening. Even if I'm holding on to my passions, I said, no, this is not working out. Table tennis, sports. You cannot get bored with adventure sports. I started looking at videos, the Chinese players' videos. I said, I'll play like them. Daily I used to watch videos for hours.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Hours, I'm telling you. Everywhere I'm standing in hospital to meet someone, I'm watching that video. Table tennis, how to play. Saw all the video, downloaded it, practiced it, and got some level of proficiency.
Is it you got really good at it? Okay.
I got good at it, and in fact, I remember we went for a table tennis tournament from office as well, and we stood second in this corporate tournament.
Okay.
So that's where my confidence was. I was liking it. Back was not supporting though much at that time. I said, okay, let's do one thing. I'll learn professionally. But there was no one teaching in Faridabad. So there was this community center we used to go and play. There was one guy used to come who was very good at it. He has this academy. So I went to his place, but all kids were there. No senior person. I said, I'll look odd into these people. But I was adamant now.
Yeah.
I said, throughout my life, roughly 35 years, I listened to everyone and did not do anything which I am not aware of and what I want to do. Initially, when I was growing up, whatever parents were telling, I was doing it. Then whatever, of course, my wife, so-called earlier wife, girlfriend, said, we got along, got married. Now I want to prove something to myself, what works. And I was doing all those experiments. I went into this experimentation mode because this Vipassana thing worked for me. And I could not figure out what it is, but it worked for me. So this table tennis experiment I did through sports, same thing happened. And I went into fights with people. Of course, you have opponent. Sometimes he is winning, sometimes I am winning. When I win, I get here. But when I lose, I'll see you, right? I'll be anxious until I beat that guy. But I said, what's the point? Of course, someone would win, someone would lose. I'm dependent on my peacefulness, happiness, on that person. If he loses, then only I be happy all the time. But it cannot so happen, right? There will be someone who is more proficient than you. I said, this is not the way, I guess. So I dropped that idea as well. Table tennis is not working, career is not working. And then meditation failed experiment. I said, okay, better work on your body first. Meditation was working. So I heard that and all these talks of Osho and Jiddu Krishnamurti, I started increasing the frequency of those. They were making sense to me to somewhat. Osho, Jiddu was probably not. He was too complex to understand, too much of deep talks. You watch his fear video. Till today I could not figure it out completely. But so I could not follow him much. And then lot of other spiritual gurus, the modern one, Acharya Prashant, right? Vivekanand was there. So lot many. Once you Google it, you'll start getting these people one video after another. I started watching all those videos. Somehow I was getting the points. I mean, whatever they were saying in the theory. But the next day, I forget those things. If they talk about fear, I'll watch their video. Even Sandeep Maheshwari, there's one motivator.
Yes.
So it will make so much sense to me. Next day, I said I'll rid of this fear. I'll be peaceful. But once I'm into situation, I'll forget everything. I said passion is not working. Body is weak. These gurus are talking. They want to convey something. I'm not getting it. Exponentially. I say okay. In yoga, somewhere I heard about yoga, and but where to reach out to? And what is the connection between yoga and spirituality, by the way? I mean, who would clear that? I said, Google it. Google it. If I read it, I mean, till today I could not find an authentic source, frankly, yoga and spirituality, how it is connected. It will take you to chakras and kundalini or whatnot, and that fancifies things. At least it was for me, right? It's a virtual world. Some sannyasi, some Siddha Purush will go there and do some yoga and reach to enlightenment or mukti. I didn't want mukti, frankly. Nirvana, though even Vipassana was advocating for. I said, I'm stuck now. I said, yoga is there, but what is the significance? Who will tell me? I started calling local, Faridabad, I live in Faridabad. Started calling local Faridabad yoga centers. So I said, I want to learn yoga. He said, yeah, of course we teach. I said, I want to do it. I live here in Jawahar Colony. He said, we don't give service there. You will have to have a private teacher. I said, how much it will costly. I said, okay, whatever it is. I want authentic yoga.
Right.
So nowhere it was authentic yoga found. Then they were saying though that we teach authentic yoga. But once I go attend their demo class, it was all jumping, PT, exercise. Right? Sometimes they'll do some type of meditation, but that was nowhere close to Vipassana. So this is not what I'm looking for. I need an authentic source. And one fine day in all this hustle, I'm sleeping, and and this loop of thoughts again came. And at 2 a.m. I woke up. I said, what to do now? Right? Earlier I was to see those movies, Lord of the Rings and those Hangover, all those series. Now that phase is gone, I'm into all these gurus. He said, enough of gurus, I would not understand now. 2 a.m. Then there was one CD of Isha Kriya.
Okay.
So Isha Kriya is one practice which Sadhguru has offered as a meditation. So this practice, this was in CD, and my wife.
How did you get the practice?
Yeah, my wife actually brought that CD. So there is one of the brahmacharis now, who is a Swami here. He was an IIM pass out.
Okay.
So my wife and he was neighbor at that time before marriage. So once she was troubled from college, so she asked for help to Bhaiya, and Bhaiya, you know so much, help me. And he gave this CD to my wife that this is a practice which someone has given, you do this practice. And of course, who would do that like this? So that CD was lying there, and I said, what is that CD lying? I know my wife wrote and she was talking about this incident. Let me watch this.
Yeah.
And for the first time I saw Sadhguru there. And I said, some old guy talking, okay, maybe some another guru or something. I started watching. Now this guy was talking plain English, but very simple English.
Right.
And making sense out of every line, right, which you could logically relate. And I could not resist of the introduction of Isha Kriya. This is 45 minutes or something. Stop watching from the whole introduction. I did not do Isha Kriya. At that time, I was not into a Kriya or something. I said I would not do it. But that guy made sense. But somehow I got this touch of Sadhguru at that time. And Sadhguru was a political involvement as well,
Right.
right? Somewhere. He was educating, coming on media channels at that time,
Right.
and saw him on the media channel. And he was favoring one of the talks, he was favoring BJP
Right.
on some talk.
Right.
I said, he is BJP wala.
Right. Right. Yeah.
He is not a guru, he is a political figure.
Field.
He favors BJP, and at that time I was anti-BJP for some reason.
Right.
Then I said, I would not follow him. This is not safe.
Right. Right.
So I was again into these videos, but that guy kept coming before me.
Right.
After another videos, YouTube has this, he sends you the same type of interest. So he kept coming, I started listening to him. And then I went to my friend, I said, I'm listening to this guy named Sadhguru, and I liked his videos very much. And why don't you listen to him? I said, no, I'm Osho.
Sure.
More into Osho, so I'll listen to him. I said, okay. I kept listening to him. Side by side, my yoga hunting of where I can learn yoga from was on. Then I said, okay, let me do it my own. Now this is the bad part and the good part again. I started learning yoga from online.
Okay.
Now online, you have no control, frankly, who comes in front of you. Right? For example, famous one is Baba Ramdev ji,
Right.
Patanjali one. So I knew him only through Astha channel recordings.
Right.
That's are there on the YouTube. Do this Kapal Bharti and whatever. I started doing Kapal Bhartis, and whatever he was telling, I was doing it. And then yoga with Adrian, another famous lady. Like any random video, I'll pick up. So I got. So I used to observe my body. So my thighs are rigid. I cannot do forward bend. Right. For example, Adhastasana, I was this high.
Right.
This high literally. And I said, how many years I'll reach to the ground? That became my target. I was getting some challenge within me. Okay, I'm doing Padastasana. I'll reach someday, I'll reach there. So Padastasana, I'm definitely doing, it's challenging me. Then I need some back bending as well, some type of Dhanurasana or something. Not Dhanurasana, some, I don't know what did they call it, reverse asana, right? So there in Isha, we don't teach that. So there are lot many asanas which are there but not taught in Isha. There's separate unique sequence which is made by Sadhguru. So I'll come to that part. But I made my own sequence. I'll do this first, then do this, that, blah blah. And I started doing religiously. Now one thing was, I have no hope other than yoga and meditation now. That was clear. Because some experience happened, and that was the only ray of hope I was seeing. And that too, out of my fears, spirituality is the only escape.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'm going for it. I started doing yoga at my home. And there was this guy, B.K. Iyengar.
Yes.
His book is Light on Life. So I started reading his book. Right. So one was online yoga I was doing. So I'm saying it's more of a physical exercise. And then B.K. Iyengar, once you read that book, he has explained few things which you'll fancify again. I'm sure he has his own experiences, but I was in hallucination, reading out and imagine if something would happen now. But out of my surprise, same thing, the same type of experience I had in Vipassana, that same type of experience struck me while doing the yoga, the casual wala yoga. And same thing happened. I said, open my eyes. I'm physical only, but some type of non-physical, I don't know how to explain that, but some type of experience happened there while doing the yoga. And I told it to my friend, but he would not listen, he would not understand this. I said, So I kept doing this book yoga and online yoga, and eventually this sciatica thing, which was roughly gone, right, that popped up again. So I realized probably I'm doing something wrong somewhere, because yoga is supposed to cure diseases, right? Now my sciatica is popping up, so probably I should go to some right source to learn it. Either I'm doing it wrong or the way I'm doing it is wrong. So someone should be there to observe me. Otherwise, it will go in other direction, right? And I have to literally go to physiotherapist again and again afterwards also. So finally, I heard of Sadhguru. Now I heard that Sadhguru is coming in Gurgaon, right? And I said, Sadhguru teaches yoga. I searched it on Google, and there was this 21-day Hatha Yoga program which was happening in Delhi, Osho. So I went there, inquired about it, and did 21 days of Hatha Yoga. Now, after coming back from there, I learned multiple practices: Surya Kriya, Surya Shakti, Angamartana, Yogasanas, Upayoga, all in one go.
How was that experience like going through that?
So that training itself, I mean, when I be there in that training, one, the way it was organized, such a neat and clean place in the green environment, Delhi Ashram, and then teacher itself was such a calm person. She was like sitting for hours without moving. That was the biggest thing. That was biggest experience of me. And how can someone sit like this for? And we were like struggling even when doing the asana. We were struggling. So these 21 day again, I was a question bank there as well, because I had to literally get the answers what I was searching for. But this process itself, yoga, made me a big fan of Isha. Right, in that way that they are teaching it in an authentic way. Right, for the first time, I got someone who is literally doing what they are saying. Right? So that experience was all. I mean, I went through this training, and teacher was so polite, so calm, so humble, so down to earth. I went to her at the end. How are you like that? She said we had this Hatha Yoga Teacher training process. So that's the first time I heard about teacher training, which happens in Coimbatore for 6 months. And then say where it happens. She said Coimbatore, we have Isha Yoga Center. I inquired a bit about it.
Which year was this?
This was 2019. 19. So 2019, I did not even do my engineering by.
Okay.
So, but by the time I became more curious about it. Okay, something called Isha is there, which is teaching so authentic, and they have so much of knowledge and the authentic practices which are preserved so well, right? And
how did you realize it's authentic? Because you had experience.
So authentic as in, see, wherever I went, right, even for the demo class or heard about it, they were all doing casually. No environment was maintained, no proper teaching mechanism was there. For example, when teacher is teaching, right, they are speaking while doing the practices. Here they have some other mechanism wherein they display through videos, or the demo person was there who was doing the practice.
Right.
Teacher's job was only to provide the instructions about the practice. And they would not, and one important factor which I was mostly worried about, how would I compare myself to others? I don't have that flexibility level. And everyone would look at me. That fear was there. Now here, they were asking us to close our eyes. Once you close your eyes, and there's no fear, right?
Yeah.
Who is looking, who is not, everyone's eyes are closed. And for the first time, I realized that asana could be something else as well. Right? Keeping your eyes closed and doing asana, I have done that. Keeping my eyes closed and doing asana, and keeping eyes closed and doing the asana, totally different experience. And there they're not touching to us. Where in other Hatha Yoga classes, they ask us to twist like this, do this, bend like this, and doing specs and doing the practices, doing socks and doing the practices. No structure of the practice was there. Wherein in Isha, if you go, there's a proper sequence. First you do this, second you do that. Even if I look at it logically, forward bend and backward bend compensating, right? That is the logical part. But later I realized there's a lot of detailed knowledge of the system, how it works, has gone into it, which we can nowhere come near. Right? So I became a big fan of the way it was taught, right? And the teacher made me so Deepika it was Deepika Gosai. Deepika Gosai. So her smile made me like how can she be so calm? Then I said okay, I should meet this guy. Sadhguru, I had this attitude. There's some guy named Sadhguru till that point. Even though I have watched those videos in the training, but then the poster came that Sadhguru is coming in Noida, 2019 only, October. So I said, this is the chance, right? my wife was already knew about Sadhguru. She was also watching videos. So I said, I had this wrong thing happened was I went to Vipassana alone, and there this difference of thoughts came. I'm talking some talk and she's not understanding, and she is going to listen. We eat something, we go somewhere. I'm talking about spirituality. There was no connection. I said this time I'm not doing that mistake. I will go together. And our son was young, but somehow we managed the situation around. Someone took care of my son, and we went along and went to this energy program. 2 days program it was, I guess.
It was with Sadhguru.
Yeah, with Sadhguru, 2 day, full day.
Okay.
In the evening we used to come back and we go in the morning. 2 days with Sadhguru. And there was so much of hype about Sadhguru as if he's a celebrity. And I was into that zone, of course. I'm meeting some big guy and a guru. But no attachment as such, personally. So we went through the program. I was anyway fan of yoga, so I have learned few practices already. And then there is a certain process, there's discourses coming, and so whatever is saying, it is opening up things bit and bit. Because Vipassana also had this discourse. At least logically I could relate, and my questions were getting answered. And prior to that, of course, we have went through this discourses online 7-day program or something. Though the program format is changing a lot, at that time that format was there. Then we went through this program, and the initiation day came, and I was sitting, and they asked us to do the practice. And suddenly someone started shouting from behind, some screaming or something happened. What happened? And someone got killed or something. So some screaming happened. Sadhguru said that whatever happens around, don't bother about it. I said, okay, probably the part of process or something. But suddenly something started happening within that process itself, which was like connecting back to Vipassana experience and this experience. Some type of experience happened there as well. And towards the end, when Sadhguru stood up and went on the ramp to meet the people, and literally everyone cried. Even my wife cried like anything. I said, why are you crying? And what happened? So she cannot answer what happened. So she kept crying. I consoled her, and then we came back. Right? Me, my friend, that friend, Osho friend.
He was also there.
He was also there.
Oh, okay.
And my wife went. So that friend stopped the practice, but I said, I don't know anything else, and I fall into some place consciously, unconsciously, and after doing Isha Hatha Yoga practices, at least my back pain was not there. So earlier the book yoga or online yoga, once I was doing, I was aggravating those situations, the sciatica. Now at least that back pain was not there. So I knew it is the right direction. Nothing happened at that time, doing yoga only. And then this energy came, and another Kriya, Shambhavi Mahamudra they gave. I said, okay, let's do it. They asked me for mandala, let's do mandala. The 40-day continuous practice. I kept doing it morning, evening. And this thought of teacher training, Deepika that gave. So I saw this banner even in stall of inner engineering, that teacher training, 6 months training. I inquired about it, what it is, little bit high level, and went. Now this yoga I kept doing, and inner engineering, the Shambhavi kept doing. Yoga was on and off.
The yoga was on and off.
Shambhavi was continuous. On and off as in some practice I'll do, but some days some practice, some days some practice.
So you basically regular, but not everything you
Not everything I was doing. So, but after a few days, I realized the way I was started changing within me. I mean, as if the office situation I told you, it was very difficult for me to handle those situations. Somehow, I was calm through these situations. Though the situation was happening, but I could see those situations, and instead of reacting, right, I was responding. In a way, for example, my boss is shouting. Earlier I was like, how can you shout like this? Or in a softer tone, I used to oppose it. And now I started looking within me, why is he shouting? Right? Is he right, first of all? in shouting. He's saying, I did not do the work. You did not do the work? Yes or no? I did not actually. Whatever is the reason, you did not do. And I started accepting it. Okay, he's right now. Otherwise, also it happened. He said, "You did not do the, you did not do this and that." I knew I'm right now, right? But he is scolding me for some reason. So I started looking what is happening, why is scolding me behind him. I'm sure he would have his own story, probably fought with her wife or something like that. But now, instead of reacting, I literally started seeing everything, now observing everything. My talks started changing. I mean, I was like, earlier I used to talk about lot about politics and everything. I said, politics is okay, but what am I doing? Let's say if I say this person did good or this person needs improvement, even in cricket for that matter, what am I doing in this? Am I taking some action into it, or I'm just get consumed in the talk? Hours will talk, but no, nothing coming out of that talk. Later, I said, okay, I'll do the meaningful things, which will change me in some way. Some information I'll get, I can implement that in life. That will enhance my life, right? Now my friend circle, of course, started changing because of this. In the office, I was like, in between, I met this guy. So this yoga came. In between, in 2018, some guy came who taught me what is food. And in fact, this happened before inner engineering. So food aspect, he told me what should human beings eat. I said, how can he generalize, right? But once I went into his program, 4-day program, he was making so much sense. Probably an enlightened being from within, I don't know. Looks wise, he's a normal human being, but he has so much of knowledge about what food is, what should eat, what should not be eaten, and I started following that blindly. Now it became my thing. Whatever someone is saying, I started implementing it until it becomes my experience. I followed it all that diet pattern, the basically sattvic diet pattern, nothing complex as such. It's just that some things here and there, and majorly fruits, vegetables, and other things. But through that process, I could feel something opening up. Some sensitivity was increased. A lot many things I could experience in a better way. And on top of this, yoga I was doing regularly. So I was getting more and more calmer. The relationship, right? So my wife and I used to fight, of course, but it was roughly one way. I felt I'm not fighting, she's fighting, and of course she would have thought the same thing. And once we had into fight, it will go for 2 weeks. Like we would not talk for 2 weeks, and we don't know the reason of the fight because she would not speak, I am not speaking. We fought over something, no one discussed, right? It would not sort out. In the end, what would happen? Acha, what happened? I am sorry, but what happened? I know you were fighting, and we didn't know the reason. For 2 weeks, we were silent, not knowing the reason. It happened probably 13, 14 times in my life. But later, fights were there, fights were still there, but the time got reduced. Earlier it was 2 weeks, now it reduced to 1 week and sometimes 3 days, and it was getting sorted out. So relationship, I could, at that way at least I could gauge it is improving somehow, and lot many other things in terms of my behavior, in terms of my what you call wearing clothes as well. Suddenly the jeans and everything, I started sensing that what is happening. Is it obstructing my blood flow? And so many small things. It's like someone has given you a HD view, right? HD view of life. How HD everything gets zoomed out, right? So that was happening, and I could not figure out what is happening because why is it happening? I could not figure out how do I.
So you were doing your practices and these things.
Yeah, these things. Then I started doing experiments around it. I said if practice is working, then if I stop it, not Shambhavi, the Hatha Yoga practices, so it should be reversed, right? I'll experiment. So 1 week I did not do the Hatha Yoga practice, and actually came down. Right, my behavior suddenly went back to the original behavior. The agitation, the reactions, anger, the stress, anxiety, everything came back. I said within a week it can happen. I'll try again. I'll did it practices again. This I did 2-3 times. And every time I was doing, one thing was happening. Of course, the behavior and everything was changing. One thing was happening is the mental clarity. The mental clarity I knew is a weapon for me to at least know what or where to go. Till this point, everyone is telling me, and whosoever is telling me, they don't know where to go or what to do. And they were giving me suggestion, I was taking it. Now I don't know where to go, what is right in life, what is the purpose of life. And still, once I sit after doing the yoga, the complete series, especially, at least I was doing 2-3 hours at that time. If I do the complete series, whatever is told in the sequence, I'm like whatever topic I'm thinking of, it gets sorted out. I don't need any external input from anyone. I'll not even think about it. I'll just look at it mentally. That someone said something to me. How would it be done? What would he be in what situation? That whole chain of everything get sorted out. Now I'm after this mental clarity. So I said, if I do practices consistently, then only it can happen. Consistently in 2-3 hours. But in the house, I was not getting that liberty, frankly, and the kind of environment I was in. I said, some consistency has to be there, and where can I do it? I heard of this teacher training, 6 months, ashram. I said, somehow if I can do it, I talked to my wife, I want to do it, but that will be probably another birth because I have a small kid and family pressure, situation, job. How do I manage it? 6 months away from house. Then, and I still admire her for this, that she said yes, finally. And I said, are you serious? I said, okay, I'll manage somehow, you go. And I went to my boss, I want to do this. He said, where are you going? So I said, I want to do yoga. I said, which company you're going? And he was suspicion that I'm leaving for another organization. I'm faking it up.
Right.
I showed them the letter, boss. I got an interview call, and this interview process for Hatha Yoga Teacher training that we have to go through. So boss finally said, we don't have any provision. Either you resign or you stay. I said, for the first time in my life, I have got this mental clarity which I'm after now. Nothing has given. Bits and glances I'm getting. This is the first time yoga seems to be working, but I need to prove it if I do it for a longer period. This is the only direction I see. I will resign. I didn't tell them those things. I'll say I will resign. I gently served the notice period. Went to the teacher training in Coimbatore. Now, whatever I was listening in theories, all these gurus and everything, I'll say I'll do it experientially, not do this or that. Right? Frankly, first 4 months I struggled. In that
Hatha torture or hatha pain, something like that. No?
Yeah, not in terms of physical. Physical was always fine. I mean, after Vipassana, I knew that pains are there. But the mental, I was too much mind all the time because probably I never got chance to expose myself to in terms of emotions or this. Too much of was there in my mind, and I have become a kind of person where I was looking at everything logically and analytically. For example, if I do this hand, my finger will go this muscle will stretch and that muscle will stretch like that. So first 4 months I was evaluating this whole thing as a physical process.
First 4 months.
First 4 months. And I've written it down, reflections. My right knee, my right leg, my thighs, these needs to be improved. What type of postures would help me, right? So I said 4 months, and my knees were like this.
Still after 4 months.
4 months, I could not get on the ground. I was literally crying within. I cannot sit for that long. Everyone can sit. Everyone can sit. The person who came from IT, they were also able to sit. Why can't I sit? But I said, what to do? I was like, this muscle should stretch. I'll be able to sit like this.
I was adjusting my angles all the time. After 4 months, I said enough calculation, enough of mind. Whatever is happening, do it. Whatever they are saying, do it. No? They're saying do this, 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 and I surrendered. I said my mind has tired now of looking at all this, and you won't believe. Within a week, my knees were down. I said, man, all this while this was my mind which was stopping my body to get there, right? And I got experientially I got this gist that if I surrender to the process, there onwards, whatever they'll say, line by line, dot by day, right? I learned this through this. Whatever instruction they'll give, it became my goal. That it's coming from some high power, and by the time I have developed that devotion. Sadhguru gave this word devotion. He said devotion. I said devotion means puja, bhat, or I'm not a devotee, right? But he gave such a simple devotion, and that stuck me. Devoid of yourself, which means you don't come in between. That's how I understood it. Now I started looking at the processes. I mean, if I'm doing, let's say I'm taping something, volunteering, I'm taping something, and something happens here and there, they're very particular. It should be like this. And they'll say, Anna, do this way. I said, I'm doing it since morning and they're saying, do this way. They should have praised me instead of they're saying, do this. But next moment I'll look, am I coming in between? Now you're coming. At least in my experience, I was coming in between. So every activity, I said, now I'll tape precise, without me coming in between. Whatever they say, I'll do it. Now sometimes frankly, within me, I cried just by taping. I don't know why these tears came, and I was a hard guy, by the way. I never cried throughout this year. And no one is watching, right? But somehow that good feeling, not that I am tired of something or something, that some good feeling was striking within me. I'm crying like anything, just taping. Like this, so many moments came in between wherein my limitations through this process of Hatha Yoga Teacher training was breaking within me. Right? Just standing on the door and ushering, talking to girls, I told you my biggest fear. But if someone gave me compliment, I was just doing it 100%. Like as if I don't have anything left, I'll do just ushering. With my smiles on and whatever is needed, I'll do it. But within that, through that process itself, people were praising me. And I didn't do them. They said me do this. People were praising me how I was while doing the activity. And I cried. Someone said, you served like a mother to me. Though I have seen other people serving the food, but you serve like a mother. And I can't stop the tears. Like this, I said, I am becoming emotionally weak. I get that feeling. But am I getting a good feeling? Okay, let it be on. What to worry about? So this whole journey, whatever Sadhguru was saying, I was going, what is the experience? How can I imbibe that line? Every line he'll say, I'll imbibe. That I'll experiment around it, I'll do it, literally. Until that touches me. So whatever he was saying, whatever topics he has touched throughout this training, 80 to 90% that became my experience. I'm too blissed out through all this, whatever is happening. I said, lot more is happening in this training. I should be out now, and it's time. Of course, my wife and my kid was waiting. So 6 months were over by the time, and on the last day, I said they'll give me certificates. I'll go and bye bye. But I was looking. Everyone is taking the certificate and crying. I said, I'm not a crying guy. I'll take the certificate and move on. But the moment I took the certificate, emotional outburst. Without no reason, I cried for almost 1 hour. For no reason, and I was totally happy, as if something big went out, right, which was ready to release itself, and a sense of lightness was felt. I felt something big dropped me out of that body at that time. Once I took that certificate, I can still gives me shiver once I talk about it. So once I came out of it, I am too what do you call it? I'm enjoying that phase. Whatever happened during the training, be it physically, mental barrier breaks, and of course, it gave boost to my spiritual sadhana as well. So all these levels, it helped me. I came back.
So I came out. I thought I'll go back to job, but then I thought, okay, what's the rush? Anyway, for the first time in my life, I'm getting vacations. So enjoy those vacations. So I thought I'll teach my wife and my cousin. I taught them. But within the first class itself, see, I was teaching. I was like that. They were listening to me. I'm like, they will never listen to me like normal person, but throughout those 5 days session, they were listening to me so politely and doing everything I'm saying. And after 5 days, they were like, settle down. I'm like, what happened? So I said, these are powerful practices. I should keep it on. I mean, as if within these 5 days, I can see them transform from physical limitations. Of course, they were breaking a little bit flexibility and strength, and above all, they were calm, right? So I started liking that phase of teaching itself. I said I'll teach. I took a couple more classes of relatives itself. Then I said, okay, no going back. Whatever fulfillment, right? Whatever void was there earlier, this is getting filled through this activity only, right? And above all, if I'm teaching, frankly, I have to got to do my practices, right? Because Hatha Yoga teacher have to maintain their own sadhana. So right now, I'm also doing 4 hours plus sadhana.
Right. Along with your classes.
Along with the classes,
Right.
So that's our biggest opportunity. Once you have to kept on to this path, and second is you get to teach. Now the second part was earning. Now I said I want to offer this to world, but of course the survival is needed.
Right.
But COVID happened at that time, so we went into online classes first, and then I opened this studio after some time in 2021 end. I opened this studio and rented the space. Of course, I have a little bit of money left from my job. I thought, okay, I'll earn something. The needs were less now. Of course, the sattvic food and the dhoti and other things does not require much. So I said, okay, I'll manage somehow. But so started teaching. Frankly, once I rolled out the classes, as if people were waiting for it. Someone
Right.
to come in Faridabad. There was no Isha Hatha Yoga Teacher in Faridabad.
Right.
So once I rolled the classes, people started coming in once from a house till I opened the studio. So slowly this space, so this space also now has taken time. So now more and more people started coming in. So up until a certain point, I was comfortable. Certain survival level was on. Certain number of people were coming, and I was enjoying it. But then we went into upgrade. I realized, and someone shared the story that he could reach out to 15,000 people.
50,000.
15,
Okay.
15,000 people in 4 years.
4 years.
As if he could touch those many lives in 4 years only. And I calculated I was at hundreds at that time. I said, in how many births I will reach to 15,000?
Right.
It's not the numbers, frankly.
Right.
See, the whole idea of choosing this after coming out of job, right, is one, you have seen this struggle I have gone through, right? It's not that physical level it has changed me. This sciatica is long gone back through these practices, right? I mean, my aim was initially, remember, aim was
Right.
to touch the ground. It is on the ground now. But eventually, it's not the physical thing I was looking for. That was the, I'll say, initial things. Mental depression and anxiety, stress I was going through, that fear I was going through. I was thinking, how would yoga play into that role? Now it's getting clear, right? I was not able to speak in English earlier. Now you see, and probably I'm unstoppable now in terms of speaking.
Right.
I have to control myself. In a way, it is all happening through yoga. Look at my relationship. Till today, we rarely fight. I mean, we laugh at if we fight. Somehow we have to literally find a reason to fight actually. And yesterday only me and my wife were discussing, we find a reason, we fight, and then we sort it out types. So it became a joke in itself. What yoga did in this? And this whole journey of coming out of fear, if you go through those medicine way or the psychological way, psychiatrists, I am sure they have their own values and advantage and have helped many people, but I haven't taken any medication, right? In fact, after that diet thing, right, I told you in between, you won't believe I have not taken a medicine after 2018.
Okay.
I had the COVID as well.
Right.
I did not take the medicine. So it gave me a proof, and above all devotion towards that nature wants to drive you in some direction, and it knows enough to take care of you. You need not to rely on anything else. It's just that you have to go back to your own nature. Right? And yoga was helping me connecting it that way. Right? So So once I see people coming and talking in terms of physical issues, I say, Sadhguru says, yoga tova or bhoga tova, which means one way or other way you come. Right? I say, you come, I know this is the biggest situation right now, you come. Physical pains, Sadhguru says, are the side benefits of yoga. You can will have. Right? Your back pain will go, eventually headache will go, but that is not the real intent of yoga, which I realize also. So it has the way bigger potential than we are thinking right now. But and I roughly did a survey, mini survey in Faridabad also. When I went there, the same type of yoga I told you, it saddens me looking at the way yoga is being taught currently. Ideally, it should be a supreme practice which could take you to somewhere, right? But we had made something silly out of it. Not, I'm saying intentionally, but probably over years, one Rishi Muni passed it to us.
Right.
Probably it was not preserved in a right hand, or with multiple hands it got distorted. Now it's a blessing that Sadhguru decided to offer it to the world, and to people like us who are ready to at least go through this training process, which is an intense training process.
So Anna, may I ask, like, what is your vision with this studio and where do you want to take it?
So what I have decided now, Anna, after coming back that 15,000 wala story, after that I came back, I revisited the whole thing, why I want to do this. So I again went into the survival race. So I came out of IT. It was a very good package, Anna, I'm telling you. 15 years of experience I had, and till that time anyone would have a good package, right? I have a luxury lifestyle, I have a foreign trips I have had, food, whatever, car, house, whatever you could think of in terms of survival. Now that was a survival mode I had all through my life, the whole approach. Here also I started the same thing. Somehow the participants are coming, somehow I am maintaining the expenses, survival was happening. Then I went back, what is Sadhguru looking for? He is doing it selflessly, you know, passing on this precious practice. He could have kept it to himself, but he thought, out of compassion, out of love, he is passing it on to everyone because world need it. So what am I coming in between? Okay, let's get on to it. Let's ride with him as if whatever number of lives I can touch through these yogic practices, offering, of course, I'm in Faridabad, starting from Faridabad itself. So now I have decided within 3 to 5 years, I will try my best to touch at least 1 lakh. Sounds roughly impossible, but the moment I had this within me, firm within me, now things started happening on its own. Right. So this year alone, of course, Isha programs also I have conducted, including we have touched almost 1,000 plus lives. Right. So earlier I was in 100 or maybe max 150 a year apps. Now it's reaching to 1,000. You will see every year it will probably go 10 times, right? But one what you will challenge or thing is, of course, my own skills, which I have to evolve in terms of marketing, in terms of business, in terms of sales, etc. That I'm working on. But the biggest challenge is, once I did that mini survey in Faridabad, is yoga is not that known yet. Though I'm sure Radha Ramdev has done a good job in terms of spreading that word, but in that process somehow that became a physical process. Some, I'm sure, are learning it properly, going to the ashrams and learning. That's a good thing, but others are doing it in parks, doing it casually. They do get some benefits, but these practices work on your energy system, and if you have to use it for your ultimate well-being, be it physical, mental, or spiritual, you got to learn in a right way. I mean, do it right way and learn from a right source. I'm sure people will have their own ways to gauge. I leave it up to them how do they gauge, but at least try to understand what yoga is. What can it solve? For me, it roughly sorted out my whole life in one way or other. Now, do I have limitations? Yes, I do have limitations. But the moment it comes, I see that limitation, I start working on it. And instead of arguing and confronting that I'm like this, my nature is like this. No one, trust me, has any particular nature. It is the situation and the repetition and the context or the environment in which they have got brought up that got stuck to their life, and it can be dropped off through BSP and other programs. Even Samyama now, I have done that. So it has evolved to a multi-fold level, that experience. I would literally want to pass on this experience, but for that, I feel there's a gap right now, and it's my responsibility of probably that education background or the kind of journey I've gone through to one pass on that education in a right way, so that first people understand what yoga is, what is its potential, and how can it sort out roughly any problem in their life. Right? One basic thing which happens is it makes you conscious, and even the social and the ecological problems, like save soil movement Sadhguru is doing, he's saying be conscious. Once you'll be conscious, you'll naturally save soil. You'll do enough to plant trees and save trees. It's not a moral thing, right? It will become an experiential thing then. And I started getting into social situations as well, doing volunteering for municipality and other things, like I'll plant trees, I'll ask people not to throw garbage, etc., etc. We did good work there, but I reached to a bottleneck there. Once we drop that initiative, they'll go back.
They'll go back, yeah.
No, is this the solution? No, it is not. It's a temporary fix you are doing. It's a good thing to do volunteer, but it's a waste of effort that way. So I said, Sadhguru has made us or gave that power to us at least to pass on those practices to the world, which can change them to one, make them conscious. And if you look at it and if you draw it logically as well, as I do analytically, consciousness is the solution to all the problems in the world. You talk about anything. You talk about relationship, you talk about your productivity in the office, that can happen through yoga. You can talk about your own limitations, whatever you want to break, your stage fear, right? That can you can, it happened with me. I could see that. So you talk about anything, any emotional issue, right? Whatever you are struggling with, psychological issues, the physical conditions. So even my skin issues got resolved with yoga. So many things got sorted out, and eventually I learned to how to sit. And if you learn how to sit with an ease, that's the biggest bliss anyone can see. That is the biggest thing. Don't think it's a small thing just to sit. We have been talking almost 2-3 hours now. And earlier, if you asked me to sit on a ground for 15 or probably 10 minutes, that was a big achievement for me. But learn to sit and sometimes doing nothing and still be joyful, that's the biggest piece. So my vision for now is making these practices available, starting with Faridabad, of course, available to more and more people. the people who are in Faridabad, especially the people who have done inner engineering, or the people who have already learned some Hatha Yoga practices. So I established this Sanidhi in the studio, which is making this whole space consecrated itself and energized in a way. Now, if someone comes and do the practice, they say that, I mean, it's their experience and mine as well, that this in a space of energy of the space has uplifted their practices in some, and I want to pass on this experience to other meditators as well. So one is three categories. One is people who are not aware that yoga can potentially solve their life problems, right? Not the physical and mental, just other life problems as well. And I'll soon do some education session. How can that be possible? Or how yoga relates to, let's say, relationship improvement or productivity or something. This is the people who do not know about yoga. So my responsibility would be towards educating them. Second category is who know about yoga, and probably I can tell them there is a way to yoga which is more organized, and which Isha has already discovered or known for. If you're doing any other Hatha Yoga practice or other type of yoga practices, I have nothing against them as such. I'm sure they are doing a good job there. But if you taste a little bit of Isha practices as well, I'm sure you will get the why I'm saying all this. And the third thing is Isha meditators. So what I have started doing is talking and volunteering within local centers. I realized even the Isha meditators, somewhere few of them mentioned that they are lacking in their practices, and it saddens me because these are the people who have spent enough into practices, and for some reason it lacks. I feel it's my responsibility, because I'm into it, into yoga throughout my day. It's my responsibility to give them some platform to come and practice. Right? So I started these recurring sessions on Paurnamis and Mondays, whenever we do Sanidhi Puja, invite them. So whosoever feel
They can come.
yeah, they can come and do the practice. I'll do the free review for them.
Right.
That way they can uplift their practice and be consistent with them. So that's it, Anna. That's what I am looking for.
Beautiful, Anna. So, what is like the best way to reach out to you? Let's say someone is in Faridabad. What is it your Instagram page or?
Yeah, so one is, of course, the best method is my website itself, satyatrayoga.com, which is online, and all the details, all the program details. So I'm conducting programs in two modes. One is the monthly program for the people who are new to yoga, right? So I teach them Upa Yoga practices and conduct daily classes for them. That is the monthly program, the budget-friendly program. And the second program is for the practitioners who are looking for serious transformations, and not in terms of course, physical ailments and other things are there in the picture, but transform their life. Right? So 3 months of recurring. I have made a combo of Surya Kriya, Surya Shakti, Nadi Shuddhi, Omkar, and other meditation together that we do on a recurring basis, on a daily basis. But the minimum duration I have kept for 3 months. Why? Because in 1 month people see some benefits, but some or other life situation pull them back, and they miss the opportunity. So now I'm tying them through this process. That come for 3 months, you will definitely see some transformation if you are willing and involved. So these are the methods, and of course we have Instagram page, satyatra.yoga, Facebook page, YouTube channel, everything we have there. Social media, down the line you'll see more and more engagements coming. Community building, I have plans to engage, especially the Isha meditators coming along, the alumni of the from here whoever going. I want them to continue their practices. I'll give them ways to connect back and evolve their practice if they wish to come back, and sometimes if they wish to practice within the energy spaces, they can do it. And I'll collaborate with you probably, or someone else as well, and like you, who can spread the word around it, what it is and how can it be achieved, where can it be achieved, which anyway you're doing a wonderful job.
So thank you so much, Anna. So it was great having this podcast. I think we shared a lot about your life. I hope you already your participants who have come, they would actually love to know a bit more about you. I'm sure you might have got the question, so I hope they get to know you better on this. And anything last that you would like to share in a minute that you would like to leave the audience with? Before we show the space, we'll be showing the space also at the end of the video. So if you're watching this on a podcast, you can just switch to video mode so that you can see that.
So now one last thing, if I summarize my whole life, it went through various challenges, be it financial challenges, be it physical challenges, or the mental one as well. And once I see the participants coming, I roughly see one way or other the same type of challenges. I've struggled a lot in terms of finding the right solution. There could be endless solutions. I'm not saying this is the only solution, but this seems to be one of the potential solutions. So I'm not saying go come towards yoga or do yoga, right? Whatever best suits you. At least start looking at a problem. Until you find problem as a problem, you would not find a solution. So start looking, start digging down. Where is the problem? Don't run away from the problem. Right? Start accepting it, whatever it is. Whether it's fear within you, accept it. If you accept it, then only you'll do something about it. If it is physical pain, then accept it. Okay, I have physical pain. Now I would find various means to it. I'm sure yoga would be one of them. If you wish, you can try other method, but at least start looking from that direction. And eventually, life is not just about the survival thing. I learned it hard way, right? Life is way bigger experience. If you just taste a little bit of it, once you, be it through practices or some other means, someone does it through bhakti or some other means, jnana yoga or something. Whatever way you can touch it, but keep looking for what life has to offer. Once you touch that, don't forget to pass it on. That's how the other lights will be on. I'm little bit started that journey, right? I'm doing my best to pass it on in whatever way I can. If you find your purpose or you find your inner joy, right? Don't miss to spread it out.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much for the video. And we had a very silent and powerful presence during the podcast. So, namaskaram.
Always
It's always good. Namaskaram.
Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. This one was actually shot quite a long back. Yeah, I had to send it to Anna and it took some time to edit it. So do let me know how you liked it. And I'm going to shoot a few more podcasts. So if you have something specific that you would like to ask Hatha Yoga teachers in the podcast, or some other way that you would like to, take it, do let me know. I'm really open to suggestions. And if you have some other guests that you would like me to bring in on the podcast who would be willing, so do let me know. And at the same time, please do subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot in getting this podcast to a lot of people to like the video. And yeah, that's it, guys. Take care. Namaskaram. Keep up your sadhana and make Sadhguru's vision happen.